Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has officially fully launched. No more early access, no more just the campaign. And I wanted to give a review about how it's kind of a mess. There are missing features, things aren't working all that well, some things haven't even been properly explained, or they could be buggy. I'm going to try to break down every aspect of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer and my experience with it. We will also be getting into a little bit of the discussion about skill-based matchmaking as more and more people are jumping into the fray and wanting to discuss that. I put everything right here at the beginning of the video so you don't have to go searching for it. These are live streams, that's why the videos are so long, and we do want to give you the goods right here at the beginning. This is a Reforge update. Modern Warfare 2 is fully launched, and now that I've gotten my hands on the MW2 multiplayer, I wanted to give a review and talk about why I think the game is a bit of a mess. If you like these quick updates, be sure to hit subscribe and the bell button so you don't miss my upload. So I want to break things down, the gameplay, the crashes, the bugs, the gunsmith, the skill-based matchmaking, Spec Ops, the UI. There's so much to discuss. I'm going to try to cover all of it for you very quickly in this video. Overall, I think the gameplay is still good and still tight. I really enjoyed my time in the MW2 beta, although I had concerns about certain aspects of the game, and some of the things felt like they might be overtuned or a little bloated, but I still think there are a ton of weapons, there's a ton of unlocks. This thing has massive potential, but it feels very half-baked and just not ready to be out right now, and they're staggering certain aspects of it, and some things have just gone unexplained or just flat out not included in the game. I also had more crashes of this game on my PS5 than I ever have. I think I've had 2 games total crash once each on my PS5 in all the time that I've had it, and this thing crashed so many times the other night. I was like, why do I even want to play this right now? You know, it feels like it's bad for your system to have something crashing that often. We couldn't even play together. Basic features just weren't working right. We couldn't just have a couple of people in a lobby and go and play together. After the campaign and how much I enjoyed the Modern Warfare 2 campaign, this feels like I'm playing a completely different game. The skill-based matchmaking is still grossly overtuned. If you just have 1 or 2 decent games, I'm talking like a little over a 1 KD, you will get thrown into lobbies that feel like you're qualifying in a tournament. It is not an enjoyable experience. Nobody wants to pound on people who are weaker than them, but if you put up even the most mediocre stats, you will find yourself in the sweatiest lobbies of your life. It's very unenjoyable. I was barely getting above a 1 KD, and after 1 or 2 matches, every match was just very unenjoyable. I had more fun losing in some of my early games just because I was able to put up some decent stats. Losing was more enjoyable than some of the sweaty games that I won later in my play session. The gunsmith still feels bloated and just not explained well. It doesn't feel like it's put together all that well. It's so big and broad, it's tough to navigate, it's tough to target anything. You just kind of have to just use every weapon until your face falls off to unlock everything, which I like the sense of progression and the unlocks, but it feels so bloated, it doesn't communicate, I don't think, a very cohesive system to the user, which is largely related to the UI. I think this is one of the worst UIs I've ever interacted with in a game. It feels like I'm playing a beta or a technical test where things have been kind of sloppily organized. So many awkward decisions, like if you play one Spec Ops mission, it automatically tries to throw you into another one, even if you're with somebody, like you're playing with another person. It just throws you into the next one, kind of like it throws you into the next match of multiplayer. And instead of just canceling out of that and stopping it and letting you choose another Spec Ops mission, if you back out of that, it backs you all the way out to the main menu of multiplayer, and then you have to go all the way back down and choose a Spec Ops mission. Just very awkward and backwards decisions have been made. The UI has apparently been designed by the person who used to be in charge of Hulu's UI, and people have, memed it and shown the similarities, it just doesn't feel like it's put together all that well at all, and it feels very clunky, laggy. Someone joins your game, just your lobby, to show their character, and your whole game will freeze and just kind of hang there. This does not feel like a AAA game put out by a game that usually has 11 studios on it. This feels half-baked and sloppy. I honestly think it's a little embarrassing to have this many companies working on the game and to have this big of a budget and this big of a title launch into such just a rough state. And people are like, well, that's Call of Duty. I never played a Call of Duty where the menus and the UI didn't work right. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff. There's also just missing features. Xbox just can't turn off crossplay. Nobody knows why. According to GameRant.com, hardcore modes and proper leaderboard integration have not been implemented. Other essentials like stat tracking, barracks, challenges, and medals, elements that have been present on the launch day in almost every Call of Duty dating back to the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare, have not been included. Where are these features? Why does a game this large with this big of a budget and this many people working on it just leave out features? We gave Halo Infinite grief for that, so I'm going to give Call of Duty grief for that. Spec Ops, solid gameplay experience. I think they were showing they have a lot of PvE potential, and yet there's just no explanation about how any of it works. The Juggernauts are the only gameplay element of it that I feel like maybe need a little bit of a nerf. They're not really hard. They're just sort of annoying. They take way longer. I can take down a helicopter faster than I can take down a Juggernaut. I mean, they take so much damage. Overall, I think the gameplay proves itself to be something they could scale up in difficulty and make more challenging. It's actually quite fun, but the UI and the star system is honestly terrible. None of it's explained. The challenges are supposed to provide you with stars after you get 3 stars on each mission, and they're not doing that. Even if that does work, you have no motivation to complete the Spec Ops missions once you have your 3 stars on each mission for the week. So people are going to go in and just challenge bail. They're going to go in, get their challenge, and leave. I had a guy do that to me over the weekend, and I'll be honest, I did the same thing. Once I got my challenges, and one of the challenges was run over enemies with a car 10 times. There's nothing in Spec Ops that's conducive to that. So I got into a game, and the guy thankfully left because he got his challenges done, and I grabbed a car and just rode around the first little town, and then I left. Like, so much of this feels thoughtless and half-baked. It doesn't feel like they put a lot of effort into making the systems make sense. It's like they nailed core gameplay elements. They rebuilt the guns, and they did this huge gunsmith system, and they actually, I think, delivered an amazing next-gen campaign experience, but the logistics and the internals of everything else, they don't feel polished or put together all that well. And then if you can get past all of this, if you can get past the bugs and the glitches and the missing features and actually play with people, skill-based matchmaking is just standing there waiting for you to do decent. And I'm talking decent. I had short-form videos on YouTube and some other platforms, and everybody just assumed I was a pro. Like, I had videos that were critical of skill-based matchmaking, and everyone assumed I was a pro. I'm like, I'm a mediocre player. I'm putting up like 1 to 1.5 KD, and I'm getting put into matches with people with 5 and 6 KD. It's not enjoyable. It's so overtuned and overreactionary. It doesn't lead to a good gameplay experience. Right now, Modern Warfare 2 serves to, more than anything, probably be a funnel to Warzone 2.0, as everyone's going to play this for skins and camos and quickly bail when what looks to be maybe a better experience launches in Warzone 2.0, since the Battle Royale is the cash cow and it's the more popular of the two. This is disappointing. After all this time, Modern Warfare 2 is considered sacred by many Call of Duty fans, and it should have launched in a much better state. As always, check out Reforge Gaming, where I stream live. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What did you think of the game so far with its complete launch? Because I've gone from praising the campaign to criticizing multiplayer pretty heavily. As always, hit subscribe and the bell button, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We got a lot to discuss here. This was a very, very disappointing launch. Extremely disappointed in how this resulted. I told people it was well worth the buy, the $70, you know, the campaign alone, I was like, is well worth it. It's a $70 next-gen experience. And now I'm playing the multiplayer being like, why the frick did you guys even launch this? You sullied your game. Like, the campaign was so good. It's immaculate. I'm replaying the campaign right now to record the raw footage. And I'm like, this is just such a good game. And then I get into multiplayer and it just feels completely thrown together. It doesn't feel polished at all. Thank you, Ribs, for renewing your membership, and thank you for a $5 tip from Super Gaming. Every time I did a sub 6-minute low-profile Spec Ops mission, I got kicked to the PS5 home screen. Juicy Steven says, sadly, condo flooded and can't member up. Oh, that's okay, man. We'll take care of you. Hang out enough, you'll get it gifted. Listen, members, if you're a regular paying member, throughout the month of November, we're going to continue to tell you that you need to upgrade from a base membership to a full membership. It's $1 difference. We need to be able to differentiate between gifted and non-gifted members. We had so many gifted members and practically nobody converted. We're all the way back down to like, I don't even know. We're heading to maybe having about 1,000 members, and that's from almost touching 3,000. We need to motivate people to convert. And right now, when you get a gifted, you'll get a base $5 membership. And a full membership is only $6. It's $1 more. So I need everybody who is paying for your membership every month, you need to upgrade for $1. From that point on, it'll be a $6 membership. It's the only way we can create this dividing line. So help me out with that. We also made VIP way more affordable. It's not $15, it's only $10. So we lowered the price of VIP. Thank you, English O, for 15 months. Welcome back. And when you renew and you see that you're on a base membership, you are going to want to upgrade like English O just did to full membership before December. We will be changing who gets to see all the members-only content in December. You have an entire month to spend that extra dollar and to get out of the base member pool. Fortunately, it's simply become incapable of a buggy, glitchy day one release is the norm. It's been the norm for a while, and I see no end in that. Asian Slick Slaya hitting a 7-month membership. Welcome back. Kratos just upgraded to VIP. Thank you for doing that. Kratos. Yeah, we would love to see as many people as possible go up to VIP. Got to switch mine over. Thank you, Skiffy. Nova just upgraded to a full membership. Thank you. Guys, while you're doing that, make sure you're smashing the like button. So many people here this morning. We should easily have 200 likes. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and being here all of the time. Lee Stills upgraded to VIP. Jesse upgraded to full. Thank you. Indulge me in my conspiracy, says Butters. I think the lack of stats are to not show how bad their skill-based matchmaking is. What's good, feed? I mean, I don't know about that. Thank you, Silver Shadow, for upgrading to a full membership. Call of Duty multiplayer feels so empty as far as content. The same recycled team deathmatch styles. Ground War and Invasion are fun, but you need another game for big lobbies. You know what's funny, too, is the big modes are horrible right now. They are absolutely awful. If you try to play Modern Warfare 2 Invasion, it is nothing but hardcore people sweating their balls off going for unlocks. It's not fun at all, and it should be the most casual mode. It's literally a mode with vehicles and bots in it. Like, what? Yo, Polo Man, thank you for doing a full membership. Welcome in. Enjoy the dope badge and emotes. You're dope and deserve dope stuff. Again, you guys have all of November to upgrade. We made it the cheapest possible thing we could do. It's $1. We gave people basically no reason to convert from gifted memberships to full memberships in the past because they could just keep riding the gifted membership. So we literally touched 3,000 members and we've fallen all the way back down to, I don't even know, 1,200, 1,400. Virtually nobody converted, which is really discouraging. We feel like we give so much members-only content, and since no one ever had to upgrade or, grab their own membership, they just didn't do it. Now, in the midst of a gifted membership, you can upgrade for $1 and get everything. That's how we're going to do it. We will start that content delivery change in December. So make sure and upgrade before then. Join full over the weekend. Thank you. $1, half a pound for the UK. That's a deal on the current exchange rates. Oh, thank you, English. Oh, I didn't know that. Big modes seemingly calmed down. Ground War is boring, says Eugene. So, did you guys watch Hilly and I play on Friday night? It was truly terrible. First and foremost, when we literally could not even play with more than 2 people in the lobby. Yo, Dusty the Mad, staying at the retired tier 2 level, thank you. If we literally couldn't play. If there was more than 2 people in our lobby, the whole game crashed. If anybody joins you, the whole game freezes. Like, I'm not kidding you. I think every time someone joins me, I'm like, did my game just freeze? What's happening? Like, that's insane to me. What did you do? What did you do? Brandon Karana, if you guys are going to become a new member, you really need to pick full membership. It's only $1 more. You don't want to pick base membership. You will not be able to see all the content starting in December. All the members content, I mean. We do so much members-only content that we decided we wanted to start limiting it to people that get a gifted membership. Your page doesn't give me the options for tier 1, tier 2, anything. If you go to your membership pages on mobile, you click your profile image up in the corner and then go to memberships, go to channel memberships and click on mine. You should be able to switch to a full membership. My eyes hurt still. The game flickers so much and the sweat lobbies, you dragged me around. Listen, I literally had to play my mind out of my mind on Friday night. It was the only way we were going to get anything accomplished. And I actually played pretty well, but it's like, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to drink a couple beers with my buddy and play some Call of Duty, and I felt like I was qualifying to get into a tournament. It was like, what is going on? And every single person that engaged with my skill-based matchmaking short video fundamentally misunderstood the video. I said that I have a couple of good games and then I get beat down, and they're like, oh, so you're allowed to beat people down? It's like, no, I said I have good games. In what universe is me, an average player, having a good game a beat down? It's like, tell me you're really bad at the game without telling me you're really bad at the game. It's like somebody talking about being mediocre and getting a good game, and you're like, yeah, you're just pounding on noobs. If me getting a 1.KD is pounding on noobs, you're garbage at the game and should just go play Cooking Mama. Jiminy Christmas. East-ite with a 2-month base membership. Great content. Upgrading membership soon. Thank you. Jatoak upgraded to a full membership. 20 months from Ganks. I'll drop the tier 2 later. No worries. Yeah. Just drop from the tier 2 to the VIP and then gift 1 member a month. Thank you, McWaffle, for jumping back in as a full member. They turned that skill-based matchmaking. The skill-based matchmaking is so overtuned. It's insane to me. It's like people literally, I'm not kidding you, every single person that responded negatively to my skill-based matchmaking videos, they all said the same thing. They spoke to me like I was some hardcore pro. I'm like, you don't know who you're talking to. I'm like a 1KD player, and I'm having a terrible time because I have a game where I do okay. I had games where I lost and put up decent stats, a 1.25 KD, and I got put in matches with people that were well above my skill threshold. It was miserable. It wasn't fun at all. There's no way when I'm losing with a 1.0 KD that you need to protect the player base from me. It's so evident that it's overtuned. Yo, thank you, Clay Rotaderp, for upgrading to full. Def Jamma upgrade to full. Yo, Craig's going to give 5 memberships to the community. Those are going to be based memberships, so you will get to sample the content starting in December. All of November, if you are a gifted membership or a full membership, you can watch everything throughout the month of November. And remember the 5th of November. This Saturday night, we are doing the Star Wars watch party, so make sure your membership's up to date. You can be any tier level of membership in November, but starting in December, you're going to want to be at the full membership. Tattoos, thanks for hitting 15 months and welcome back in. That's a review from my friend. Game was unplayable, constant stuttering and FPS drops in the menu. When I actually got into a match, the maps would not load correctly. Spent 2 hours trying to roll back drivers, verify Steam files, uninstalling and reinstalling the game, but to no avail. Avoid this game until a patch has been released. Yes, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 on PC is a disaster. People can't play. There's missing files. It performs terribly. Like, people are having a super bad time on PC with this game. Thank you, Taylor, for upgrading to a full membership. Guys, upgrading to a full membership is literally $1 more. We had to do it so that there's a dividing line. The hope would become that by January, anybody on a base membership is just gifted. They get to sample the content, and if they want to upgrade, they can do it for $1. People think it's good. I think their attention is trash. We're not getting, hang on, advanced scene switcher. I just realized it's not doing our advanced scene. So when we're in this scene for full screen cam, we need to go to wait, hang on, full screen cam, we need to go to second cam, and when we're on second cam, we need to go back to full screen cam, and we'll do a minute on each. No, let's do 30 seconds on the other scene. I want to try the other scene a little bit longer. Let's try the other scene a little bit longer. And let's start the sequence over. I believe this is second cam. This should sit here for 30 seconds, then go. I am wearing one of the all-over prints from Into the AM. If you guys want to use the shirt command, that supports me. We really need 200 likes on the video. There's so many of you here this morning. What do you think of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? My Modern Warfare 2 review is actually pretty critical. This game kind of fell down the stairs for me. I loved the campaign, and I feel like the game has just absolutely fallen down. It feels so half-baked. It feels so rushed. It does not see. It just doesn't feel like a good game. It feels like it's not ready. You know, that's fundamentally what it feels like. It's like, okay, you guys clearly have some good ideas, you know. James with a $10 tip through Super Chat. I think the problem is people hear you say I have a good game and they assume that a good game is a 50-0 pub stomp. However, you can lose or be a bottom fragger and still have a good game. Right, it just showed everyone's presumptions. Thank you, Old Bale, for upgrading to a full membership. It just showed everyone's presumptions about skill-based matchmaking. It's like, I say I have a good game, and you're so garbage at Call of Duty that when somebody says they have a good game, you presume that they just steamrolled. It's like everybody that presumed that just admitted they're bad at the game, because that's your presumption, is that, oh, all these other people are just running over my face and, oh, they're having good games. Like, no, when I have a good game, I get like a 1 KD. And I don't die the entire time. That's a good game for me. And that's all that I need to do to get put into a funnel of players that are 3 to 4 times out of my stat range. Like, they're not even in my stat range. They literally have the skill-based matchmaking in this game is literally, are you a potato? No? Well, then you're all the way up here with these sweat lords. It's like, I don't understand. Like, I've never been that good of a player. I feel like I'm being treated like a pro player. It's like, what is happening? Why am I playing with these? Why am I playing with these people? Because other good players adapt. See, you know what's funny about defending skill-based matchmaking by telling me to get good? That's the irony. You should get good just like I did when I was garbage at World at War, when I was bad at Modern Warfare 2 when it first came out. I got better. That's what you should do. Skill-based matchmaking doesn't ask you to get better. It punishes the people that actually do. That's the fundamental problem. Skill-based matchmaking is not about getting good. It's about punishing the people that have gotten good, and you get to stay down in mediocrity land, pulling half a KD average and never having to face anybody that's better than you. That's the problem. It just immediately slides me into some weird threshold, some super weird environment. It's like, where did all these players come from? This is apparently one of the most popular games in the world, and I can only play against these people? I can only play against the people at this level? Where are all the mediocre players? People are like, you just don't want to play people at your skill level. I'm dying to play people at my skill level. Where are the 1 KDs? Where are the slightly above average players? I would love to play those people. I'm not playing those people. I'm playing some guy that snorted G Fuel off his desk and he's got a 4 KD. I don't want to play that guy. Now, I wouldn't mind playing that guy if it was random. I don't mind playing that guy if it's random. I was playing a game the other day, and there was a guy in the server who was an absolute killer. And I was like, this guy's really, really good. And guess what? Didn't bother me. It made it fun to fight him. It made it fun when I sometimes beat him. It was interesting. But when you're picking me up and throwing me into the deep end of the pool, and I'm just getting wailed on by players that are out of my skill league, it's like, well, this isn't organic or dynamic. I didn't run into these people randomly. You threw me in here with the sharks. All my buddies have less than 1 KD and they cry just like you. I bet you $10 your stats are trash. Anybody that walks around and says, you're just trash, you need to get good, and they defend skill-based matchmaking, dollars to donuts, your stats are in the toilet, and that's why you like skill-based matchmaking. You're a garbage player that's never ascended beyond a half a KD, and you think skill-based matchmaking is your savior, and anybody who doesn't like it should get good. Take your own dadgum advice. Dollars to donuts, you put your stats in the chat and we go look at them and they're trash. You're probably a bottom fragger going to headquarters to get unlocked trash player, and that's why you like skill-based matchmaking. I don't think I've ever run into anybody who's like, yeah, I love skill-based matchmaking, who actually hits a 1.0 KD regularly. Because if you did, you would hate it just like I do. There's no way you are regularly hitting a 1.0 KD and you like skill-based matchmaking. There's no frickin' way. There is absolutely no way. That statement is BS. No way to see KD. So how do you know your friends have below a KD? It's on, oh, you mean you can't go stat track? Yeah, you can't stat track right now. I mean, I look at the end of my games, and I had a 1.25, and I was like, oh no, what have I done? And then the very next game, I was playing dudes that were pulling 5s and 6s. I was like, what the frick happened? Yo, Face 2012, upgrading to a full membership. Wait, so people calling Lono trash and other people saying Lono is just too good. Which one is it? That's what I'm saying, Trill Troll. No one can decide where they want to land in the debate. Yo, what's good, Yosh? Thanks for doing a full membership. Anybody right now, if you're paying for your own membership for $5, we need you to upgrade for $1. From that point on, your membership will be $6. We don't have a dividing line between gifted members and full members. Please help us with that by upgrading your membership. Starting in December, it will change what content you can see as far as members' content goes. I experienced the same. I had a handful of good games and it puts me into pro lobbies. It feels like it got worse when I tried to matchmake with a friend who's better than me. There's another reason why skill-based matchmaking is absolutely garbage. If you play with somebody who's actually good, it's a nightmare. It used to be a thrill for your buddy to get on and you'd know like, oh, he's better than me. We're about to have some fun games. He can really carry for me for a little bit. No, not anymore. If your buddy gets on and he's better than you, you're like, bro, I'm not going to play with you. No way. No, you're going to pull me into sweat lobbies. I can't do it. I can't keep up with you. I'm an average 1 KD player. I have 1 or 2 good games, then boom, I'm getting super sweated for 5 or 6 games unless I completely close the game every other game. That's what I'm saying. Like, let me tell you a little story about my skill-based matchmaking videos. Let me just tell you a little story. Yo, what's good, Danny? Thank you for upgrading to a full membership. Let me tell you a little story. So the video first went up on Friday, and it wasn't doing too well in the comments section. Viewership was amazing, but all the comments were skill issue, get good, you just want to pound on noobs. They all say the same dadgum thing. It's like somebody passed out a how to defend skill-based matchmaking training manual, and they all say the same stupid brain-dead platitudes. Nobody says anything original in defense of skill-based matchmaking. They all say the same thing. Sounds like a skill issue. You're a hypocrite. This guy's just ironically saying that he wants to beat up bad players. No, I actually never said that. Thank you, Matthew Johnson, for gifting 5 members. Dr. Doom, The Bean, Ace of Race, Music and Gaming Forever, and Nitro Fusion. You guys all got a base membership. If you want to upgrade it to a full membership, it's only $1. Welcome on in. Starting in December, when you get a base membership, you'll be able to sample some of the members-only videos, but you will get full access to the Discord, and you will get the badge and all of the emotes. The only thing you'll miss out on is some of the members-only streams. So let me finish my story. So my skill-based matchmaking video goes live, and it just takes off like a bottle rocket, and all the comments are negative. Do you want to know what happened on Sunday? Suddenly, on Sunday, on both platforms, on the Clock app and here on YouTube, my YouTube short, suddenly I started getting all of these comments that said, it's terrible, it's driving me crazy, it's ruining my games. Do you want to know what happened? Everybody jumped on that short and started giving me crap and getting up my nose and telling me I was bad and that I needed to just get good, and then they played over the weekend. And surprise, surprise, as soon as people got a taste for the most overtuned skill-based matchmaking I think I've ever experienced in my life as a gamer, they all found my video and they're like, bro, it's terrible. It's absolutely ruining my experience. I don't want to play. As a KD of 2.1, it's a sweat fest, says The Bean. I have to take long breaks sometimes because of the constant crap I have to deal with. Here's the thing. This is what everyone misunderstands in the skill-based matchmaking debate. When I put up a 1.0, there is literally no way you would watch a replay of my game and say that I'm crapping on anybody. There is literally no way you can look at my gameplay of a 1.25 KD, one of my better games, and be like, he's just crapping on people. No, I'm not. In fact, my stats seem to indicate that I'm getting a kill and then dying in a pretty even distribution, which means I'm not crapping on anybody. So why on earth do you need to put me into some funnel where people do that to me? And it's like all of a sudden I'm a 0.25. I'm a 0.25 KD now because I got an even amount of kills and deaths? How dare I? What a champion I am. Yo, Quintar with 5 gifted members. Thank you so much. Misery, Anthony Gregory, Dark Ops, Michael Kennerson, and The Legacy. You guys have base memberships. If you want a full membership, you can upgrade that for $1 and you'll have a full membership. Welcome on in to Reforge Gaming. A 1KD is pulling even. Right, like, I want you to listen to something. How freaking bad is the player base in Call of Duty if an even KD is considered so good that you have to remove me and put me in some bracket of sweat? How just absolutely god-awful is the player base that I go even, a 1.0 KD, and that's considered really good and stomping? Right? To be clear, I am trying to crap on people, I just can't manage to do it. Right. Like, think about that. A 1.0 KD is considered crapping on people? How bad are you? Is that a dreamboat? Do you remember when I played Modern Warfare 2 back in the day, the guys that could maintain like a 2.0 and a 3.0, they were the gods. They were the gods. A 1.0 was like, that. There was no reason to brag. Saying a good game is very open-ended. I know, Robert, I know. From here on out, if I publish a short or a short video about skill-based matchmaking, I'll be sure to painstakingly outline for all the Neanderthals out there. When I say I have a good game, I mean I got like a 1.0 KD. And that's all it takes for me to get thrown into sweat lobbies with 3.0 and 5.0 KD players. So if you think me saying I'm having a good game makes me a pro and I just want to beat up on noobs, you're just betraying your own presumptions and probably your own god-awful lack of skill, because anybody having a good game must be 1,000 times better than you. Why are you even playing the game if you're that bad? You're on YouTube responding to comments and responding to videos about skill-based matchmaking, and you're talking to anybody who has a good game as if they're a pro. Like, what the huh? I think you're trying to be funny, but you know 1.0 is more than likely a tiny percentage of the player base. Most players have probably never been in the top 3 of the match board. I'm wondering if it's literally a scaling problem, Creature. Like, is the community that large now? Is it so large that like a 1.0 KD is considered a problem? Technically, a 1.0 KD is crapping on people with a 2.5, so it's subjective. Well, here's the thing, though, Silent Warrior. No, I actually am glad you brought that up. If I end a game at a 1.0 or like a 1.25, so I'm slightly above a 1.0, that means that that entire game, every time I got a kill, I was killed as well at some point, which means those .25s are not, I'm not a problem for them. It's not like every time they died, they were like, oh, it was that Reforge guy. He's just running the map. It's like, no, you're just really bad. That's the problem. You can't put blame on me. I'm not a presence in that game. I'm not a presence of threat. I'm a 1, which means that team dealt with me as evenly as I dealt with them. Like, collectively, they killed me as often as I killed them. The .25s on that team, you can't look at the result of that game and be like, yeah, that Reforge guy absolutely stomped on them. No. Now, if there's a guy in the server like a 4.0 KD, then sure, he might be in the wrong bracket. But why a 1.0? A 1? I'm getting a kill for every time I die? And that means I need to go somewhere else? I'm too good? It doesn't make any sense. Especially if it's an OBJ mode. Yeah, because you're trading a lot in OBJ modes. You're getting on the point, killing a guy and probably dying when you're laying on it. And those people with the .25s will have a 1.2 KD teammate too. It's so comical, only average players complain. I'll tell you what I do as an average player, King. Man. I'll tell you what I do as an average player. You want to know what I do? I don't play for very long. I don't. I can't play with my friends who are better than me. I can't play by myself for very long. Even the most moderate amount of improvement on my end gets punished. So, yeah. That's what I do. Did I thank Quintar for his gifted memberships? Did I call those out? Yes, I did. Thank you, Splatoff, for upgrading to a VIP. I need every person who is paying for their own membership to upgrade to a full or a VIP. Upgrading to a full membership is only $1 more a month. You will then be on a $6 membership. We need you to do that before December gets here. Have you tried surfing? Smurfing? Oh, smurfing doesn't work. Do you want to? I'll tell you what happens. So this happened. You can literally watch this in my most recent broadcast of Modern Warfare 2 gameplay. You can literally watch this. I get dunked on for 2 games. I go super negative. I just get thrashed. I get like a .25. And you know what happens the very next game? I'm in a lobby with bots. People that don't even know where they are. I literally sniped like 5 or 6 people in a row. I got my highest kill streak. Like, because you have like 1, 2, 3. I got all the way up to the 3rd thing within the first 2 minutes of the game. I ran up to a fence. I laid down, and they just poured out like lemmings. Kaploom, kaploom, kaploom. So, what the heck? Why am I doing that? I didn't belong in that game with those guys. Those guys were so bad. I don't want to play against those players. It wasn't satisfying. There was no joy in it. There was no joy. That's the mistake everybody makes. They're like, you just want to pound noobs. I ended up in a noob lobby, and there was no joy in it at all. There was no mirth. It was boring. It was so brain dead easy. And then guess what it did? It made me look like a god. I looked incredible. So then I get yanked out of there, and then I got to go fight people with 4 and 5 KDs because you put me up against fodder. You put me up against people who are literally playing with their face. You know, they're like rubbing the controller on their face. I'm like you, average player. I have a couple of okay games, and then from then on, it's sweat lobbies. In theory, skill-based matchmaking could be good, but it's never implemented correctly. It's so overtuned. I think that's what's constantly lost on people, is they hear someone complain about skill-based matchmaking, and they don't even engage in the discussion. They're like, you just want to stomp on noobs. No, I don't. That's boring. That's super boring. In Fortnite, when it did that and it just fed me and my brother and my nephews bot players, it wasn't fun, and it inflated our stats, and then it just led to us playing players who were well out of our league, and so the pendulum swings, and then it's time to go home. It's time to go home. It's like, well, we put you up against players that don't even know how to play this game, and you got a 4.0 KD. You must be a 4.0 KD player. No, I'm not. Oh my gosh, no. I'm not a 4.0 KD player. Please stop. No, that was one game. That's not how it's supposed to work. I can speak to the hands-on with this version of... I can't speak to the hands-on with this version of skill-based matchmaking. But the way it has always worked in the past, from my experience, is really good players above a 3 KD, bad players below a 1 KD, and very rarely affected by it. It's everyone in the middle that gets effed. Well, yes, because... Okay, there's 2 arguments. This is actually interesting. So there's actually 2 arguments to be had about this, okay? So Courage put out a video, and what Courage basically said was, if I want to play at this level and sweat, let me choose that. You're forcing me into this on-the-fly rank playlist, and it's not enjoyable. So what the pros basically say is, we don't mind sweating, but we don't want to sweat in every single game. That's not what I'm saying. Because they say it's exhausting. It's like, it's exhausting. I always have to turn on. I always have to be playing at my absolute best. It's exhausting and it's not fun. And I think the minute I walk out into the public as a YouTuber and I start talking about skill-based matchmaking, people assume that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm getting drug into lobbies that I have no business being there. It's like, hey, 1.25 player, you got a 1.0 KD, come up here and play with these guys, and I get smacked around and I go 0.25. I go negative. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You just did the thing that skill-based matchmaking is supposed to protect against. You threw me into a stomp lobby. I'm like, I've not been in the stomp lobby yet. I played moderately well, and now I'm in a stomp lobby. But I'm on the receiving end of the stomp. Zubair says, weird analogy, but it reminds me of the thing that controls the thermostat. It needs to be smart enough to capture history, integral, and predictive derivative. Otherwise, it'll go full blast until it gets to 72 degrees. Then completely shut off until it gets to 71, and then go full blast until it gets to 72. A good skill-based matchmaking shouldn't fluctuate this hard. It should move softly. Right. Right, and I think that's exactly what it is, Zubair. If you took a snapshot of my last 20 games, and you took the snapshot of other players' last 20 games, and you said, this player falls into this threshold, and you softly tried to put me into funnels with those players, I probably wouldn't even notice that it's happening. And I wouldn't care. I'd be like, that's totally fine. If you were to sample, like I would never let my son play this game. But imagine if I let my son play this game and he played for 20 games. He should be landing into servers with other people at that threshold, and he would be, it'd be fine. He would, if you've seen the famous footage of a guy that like reverse boosted in Call of Duty, and he was playing against players that he had to literally stand in front of them and like let them kill him. There are really bad players in this game. I don't want to be in their lobby. It's not satisfying to kill a player or to beat a player or to beat a team that's literally not shooting back. There's no love in that. There's no joy. Anybody who wants to do that is in the minority. Pro players don't want to do that. Streamers don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Now, I know, yeah, some of these Warzone players who VPN into bot lobbies so they can be like, I'm dropping 30 bombs all day. F those people. They're fake. They're frauds and they're phonies. They're not dropping 30 and 40 bombs on the regular. They're cheating, right? They're the minority. They're the minority. The actual pros, the guys on teams, the guys who go to LAN and crush, they're not wanting to play against noobs. That's just such a misapplied argument. That's not a thing. There isn't this ocean of streamers that wants to play against people who can't shoot back. That just isn't true. How can VPNing really work? Wouldn't you have very high ping? It does affect connection a little bit, but if you're not paying attention, there have been, I mean, they literally caught Nadia doing it. Yeah, she's dropping 30 and 40 bombs, and she's VPNing into Brazil where there's no skill-based matchmaking because the player population is too small. They intentionally target regions where there's no SBMM. And yeah, it's laggy, but you don't notice it because if you've got a really, really good connection, the VPN basically makes up for it. It's like, well, it puts you in that region, but you have a really fast internet connection. It'll be a little latency, yes. So let's say you're out in California and you VPN your way. You can get no-lag VPNs to offset the skill-based matchmaking. Right. You can also get VPNs that are really good at minimizing the lag and the latency. So that's not who we're talking about. I think that's what people think we're talking about. You just want to crap on noobs. And it's like, no, that's not fun. Dude, number one, I don't want to drop 30 bombs every game. That's not what I do. I'm a super casual player. It blew me away how many people got on my videos and said, skill-based matchmaking is for the casual dads out there that don't want to get crapped on. I'm like, bro, I'm 40 years old and I'm a dad and I play super casually and super infrequently, but because I'm slightly above average, it's horrible. It's horrible. And these people keep telling me that, like, well, you're better than you think you are. Listen, I can kind of turn it on for a game or two and pull off some decent games, but it's really inconsistent. I'm always going to be a solid 1 KD player. I know that's where my skill threshold is. I'll never be in a tournament. I'll never get scooped up by a pro team. I've aged out. There's no way that'll ever be the life for me. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So it blew me away how many times people spoke to me and basically said, like, this is designed for casual dads. And I'm like, bro, I'm the casual dad you're talking about. How bad are you? You know what it told me? I'll tell you what it told me. It told me that most of the people that got on my video and defended it are just really bad at the game. They never get punished by it. They're just bad. If you have a good game and you get moved to a new lobby of teams of people on your level, wouldn't you die more because you are now going against a bunch of yous now instead of what it was? No, that doesn't stand to reason, Diaz. Okay, let's say you're right. So my 1.25 isn't legitimate. I earned the 1.25 by what? Playing against only trash, and the minute I face other 1.25s, I slip into a negative score. First and foremost, if that's what the system does, then it's mislabeling players. It's mislabeling players. Oh, you got a 1.25 KD, Lono. Yeah, you need to be up here. And if I'm actually not that good, then the skill-based matchmaking system is also then broken and doesn't work well. Even if I take what you're saying, Diaz, and I apply it and say, oh, sure, the minute you put me up against a bunch of other 1.0 KD players, I'm going to have a harder time and I'm going to go negative. Well, then I'm not actually a 1.0 KD player. Don't you see? Then the system doesn't work then in that situation either. If you're constantly putting me against 1.0s, I guarantee you I wouldn't have the whiplash that I had the other night. There's no frickin' way. The guys that I was going up against were running around the map with meta builds dropping 3.0 KDs and higher. I am not at their level. It's not like they're a 1.0 KD who suddenly popped off. No. You can see it in the way that they move. You can literally feel it in the game. The whole vibe changes. You can feel it in the air. The first game that Hilly and I played on Friday night was Kill Confirmed, and it was a close game. It was not a blowout. I think we literally won by 2 points. It was literally down to the wire, and a lot of the game we were losing. And it was fun, and we were laughing. And guess what happened? Very next game, they were like, hey, you guys proved that you're not potatoes. So here you go. And they shoved us in the lobbies, and the whole vibe changed. The whole vibe changed. It was like the guys were running around. They were sliding around corners. They were sweating. You would die super, super fast. All the gunfights were like insta-death. You were like, oh, I see a guy. Oh, I'm dead. You could literally feel it in the air. You're like, something changed. We're in a different bracket of player. Why? Because we didn't play awful. That's the crime that we committed. We played a really, really fun game of Kill Confirmed. We won by 2 points, and then after that, it was like, it was nothing but hell. So explain to me why we needed skill-based matchmaking to fire. Why? We played a game and we won by 2 points. Why'd you have to do anything? What's good, Jaretol? I saw you say something in the chat, Jaretol, and I didn't read it. I try to always read what you say because I know you work a lot. So, Lono, what would COD need to do to fix this problem? I suck, and if I end up in a sweat lobby, I'll just stop playing. Do they even care? I want people to realize something. Fall Guys has the same issues. It does. Creature says, I'll meet you in the middle. You're not better than you think you are. The player base is worse than you think they are. Right. Think about something. I want you to think about something. Just everyone... Stop defending skill-based matchmaking for just a second and listen to the reality that I've experienced. The minute I get a 1.0 KD or a 1.25 KD, I end up in lobbies against people who have 3.0 and 5.0 KDs, and it's a horrible experience. That's what awaits you if you actually start to get better and hit some 1.0s. Do you still think skill-based matchmaking is a good idea? Do you still think it's a good idea? I don't know how anybody could watch my gameplay and think, oh, that's what I want to have happen to me. The minute you ascend out of the gutter and get a 1.0 KD, that's what you want to experience? How else would you do it? You would not do it. You would have a ranking system. And I would go into the ranking system. This is how most ranking systems work, okay? You motivate people to sweat and to grind the ranks with really, really cool rewards. That's why they go in there. And eventually, they get tired of sweating, and they'll leave, and they'll just go play unranked. And the beauty of this system is, if you're really, really bad at the game, you have no worries. You just go into the ranked playlist, and you're always going to play other really, really bad players. And if you get better, you will incrementally play against people that are also incrementally getting better. Do you really want to have the experience that I've had? You want to start to get better and start dropping like a 1.0 KD and then play people who are 3 and 5 times better than you? Is that what you want? Because that's what you're going to get. I honestly think this. I think players are just so dadgum terrible. They almost never get beyond the 0.75s and the 0.8s, and they never experience skill-based matchmaking, so they think it's great. Yo, Dan, thank you for upgrading to VIP. I genuinely think that's what it is. Sorry if this is a stupid question, but if you're only looking at the KD after one game, how do you know if that player is really a 3.0 player or if they just had a good game? Well, you can watch the kill cam, Zubair. You can sense it in how fast you die. You can sense it in the movement and the placement of the player. You can sense it in how many kill streaks they get. Like, even when I have a better game, I don't have that consistent threat on the map. I'll have a couple of runs where, oh, wow, I got a lot of kills on that run. You can literally analyze the player behavior and you can see, like, this is not an average player. This is a very good player. I've been playing shooters since Wolf 3D. I've professionally shoutcasted. If you can't analyze player behavior of their movement and how fast they kill people and the kill cam, you just are inexperienced. You're inexperienced. You don't know how to analyze player behavior and break down movement choices, angles, positioning, TTK. It's ignorance at that point. You ask anybody who's professionally shoutcasted. They can watch kill cams and gameplay, and they instantly know what level a player is at. It's not difficult at all. It's extremely easy. Yo, thank you, Ragnar Red, for doing a full membership, and for Nerd Mother for upgrading to full member. They feel like a 3.0 player. Like, watch my gameplay when I hit like a 2.0 or a 3.0. I move the same way that I always do. I'm not sliding around corners. I'm not bunny hopping and drop shotting. I'm not taking people down super duper fast. I'm clumsily finding my way through. I get some good map control and positioning and get some good runs and kill streaks. Like, you can literally watch my gameplay and you can tell that I'm not a 3.0 KD player. You can tell by watching my kills. Yo, Ragnar Red hitting 5 months. Welcome back. Is KD the only thing that's determining skill? You know, B41 is 0. I think it's KD. Do you want to know why? My first 3 games, Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer released. My first 3 games, 2 of them were losses. They were losses. And I still got yanked into harder lobbies. Well, you're calling your gameplay movement might be overselling it? No, seriously, I don't move. Yeah, I don't move like a pro. You can watch my gameplay and see, like, oh, Lono had a 2.0 or a 3.0. You can watch my gameplay and you can tell that that was just a lucky game for me, or I got some good positioning or whatever. Or maybe there were just some really bad players who kept coming to my side of the map. You know what I'm saying? Hilly and I were playing that one map, and they had 2 guys on their team. They were both running the same SMG. Bro, you could tell by the way that they moved. They were really good players. Listen, I hate to say this. If you've been playing Call of Duty this long and you can't tell if a player's really good, then you just frickin' suck. That's the facts, Jack. If you can't measure the movement and the choices of a player and how fast they kill you and others, and you can't gauge whether or not that's a good player, you're like, I can't tell. That KD, maybe he just got lucky. You're just freaking awful at the game. Like, it's not that difficult to measure the behavior of a player and tell whether or not they're like a really, really good player. I faced Ninja one time in Fortnite, and I instantly knew it was him. The way he moved, the way he applied pressure, the way he closed space. I've been playing Fortnite a lot, and I was like, it's him. I know it's him. Like, I knew it was him. Like, it was so obvious. Again, I've professionally shoutcasted. I've been contracted to professionally shoutcast. If you've watched the pros play, if you've watched the pros move, you know what good movement looks like. You know what a good player looks like. It isn't difficult to see. Yo, Belanjou, thanks for upgrading to a full membership. You can watch a trash player and know their KD is crap. Yeah, like, I've had people kill me and tell me that this doesn't happen to you. There are people that will kill you and it makes you more angry because you know they're a bad player. You've had to have had that experience before. You know that a player is bad and they kill you, and it makes you more frustrated because you're like, I know I'm better than that guy. By the way he moved, by the way he positioned himself, I know I'm better than this guy, and he just killed me, and it's more aggravating. If you've never had that experience, then you're probably just really bad at video games. Y'all have millions of people watching y'all's video, and you don't expect players to mimic good players? There's a difference between mimicking, though, and actual good movement and good gameplay, bro. Like, have you never just complimented a player? Have you never done that? We were playing the other day, and I was like, that guy's good. I could just tell he was a good player. He was excellent. He had great positioning. He would kill me super fast. I was like, that's a good player. I've had snipes. I've had people snipe me, and I look at the kill cam, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that guy's good. You've never paid another player a compliment? I'm a huge critic of pubs just blatantly using the normal player base as free and profitable QA playtesters. However, with huge multiplayer game like this, I'm honestly not sure it's avoidable. Well, sure, it's such a big game. Yeah. I am, but you can't just say someone is out of your league. So if I play a game against a guy, he continually outmaneuvers me, outshoots me, outplays me, and he ends the game with a 5.0 KD. I'm just supposed to say, what? He got lucky? Is that how you cope? Is that how you cope when people outplay you? I don't cope when people outplay me. I say, that guy's way better than me. It's far easier to just admit reality. Like, that guy's way better than me. He's a super strong player. Matty Jarvis with a 5 spot. It blows my mind that COD for the last 3 games has had league play, which is ranked, but it still insists on driving strict SBMM and quick play. Yes, he got lucky. No one's better than me. It's my teammates. That's the classic denial. That's the classic Call of Duty player just living in denial. It's like, bro, you can tell when someone's better than you. You totally can. When I played Fortnite, I instantly knew if someone was better than me. I was like, this guy, he would build, and he'd be editing and shooting me, and I'd be dead 2 seconds later. I'm like, well, that guy's way better than me. Holy frick, how can you not tell that? You can't kill him? You both have bullets. It's about who's more clever. You're just being platitudinous because you want to defend skill-based matchmaking. You're not actually making an argument. What I'm saying is, you're trying to invalidate my point by claiming you don't actually know if that player's better than you. You don't actually know if that's a true 5.0 KD player. You know what's funny? People have proven skill-based matchmaking exists because, let me let you in on a little secret. You can tell if that's a 3.0 KD player or a high-level player. Do you want to know how? You check their stats. And surprise, surprise, we have no stats available right now. Anybody saying 5.0 is average is an idiot. Stop being stupid. Quit saying stupid stuff. You're just distracting from a good discussion. 5.0 is average. Shut up. That's not true. You're typing something that you know is bankrupt and dumb. That's more frustrating than being dumb. Like, you're choosing to type something that you know is dumb. Yeah, you can't check stats right now. I've had games where I'm below a 1 and then 3.0 out of nowhere. I was put into a lobby I did not belong, or did those other players just have a single bad game? Diaz. Listen, I've been playing shooters since they were invented. Wolf 3D, Doom, Quake, Call of Duty, Unreal Tournament, okay? I am from that school, okay? If you can't tell that you're better than other players, then I don't know what the frick you're doing. I don't know what in the frick you're doing. I can tell when I'm better than another player. It's called game sense. It's called experience. It's called skill. Like, I have a modicum amount of skill, and I can tell when I'm going up against somebody who is either wearing a blindfold or has no idea what they're doing. Like, if you can't tell that you're better than another player or another player is better than you, then you're literally the people that are probably always bottom fragging and you're always getting protected by skill-based matchmaking. Like, come on. How can you not tell when you're better than somebody or when someone's better than you? How can you not tell? I didn't list Medal of Honor. What a noob. So, Lono, my KD's around a 2 to a 2.5. I feel like SBMM doesn't hit me as hard. Is it fair to assume the better player, it affects you less? Well, here's the thing, Warpath. This is one of the reasons why pros talk about they don't like sweating every game. They don't talk about getting put in games with people out of their league. Why? Because they're in a small pool of players. Right? If you're genuinely that good that you're regularly dropping 2 and 2.5, like if your career stat is a 2 to a 2.5, there's not enough players at that level to put you against. So you're probably commonly getting thrown into lobbies where there are people at your level in there, but there's a lot of people in there like me. You're gonna shred people like me. I don't stand a chance against somebody like you. I might get you once or twice in the game, but you're gonna win most gunfights against me. You play more, you're more practiced. Your career stats speak for themselves. Now, if you're padding your career stats by hiding in an objective-based game mode, then you're gonna make your life hell because it's gonna put you into funnels of people that are actually 2.0s, and you're going to get murdered, right? So 2.0 would mean that you killed 10 and died 5. Is that what it means? Yes. So when you said a 5.0 is average, Bazicon, no, the average player is usually like a 0.75 to a 0.80. They don't get 1 kill, 1 death is a 1.0. If I have 10 kills and I have 10 deaths, I'm a 1.0 player, which is where I commonly land. I'll have 10 over 10 or, 12 over 10, or, you know what I'm saying? I don't put up that impressive stats. I just don't. Anybody who pads their KD is really going to make their life miserable, because it's going to think that you're some crazy good player. Like, if I went into Invasion and I camped a rooftop and never engaged and just got really dumb, easy kills and had like a 3.0 KD, it would make sense that I would get thrown into 3.0 lobbies and be like, this is horrible. Why? Because I'm not actually I'm not a 3.0 player. Does that make sense? Yo, Fat Lump doing a full membership. If you're a paying member on Reforge Gaming right now, the $5 membership is now a base membership. We need you to upgrade to the $6 membership. It's a full membership. It's only $1 more. From that point on, you will be on a $6 membership. Starting in December, we will change and only give all the members-only streams to full members, because we need a dividing line between gifted members and full members. This is the only way we can do it. We had so many gifted members and none of them converted as far as we could tell. And we went from 3,000 members and we dropped all the way back down. So we need a lot of you to pick up your own memberships, and we also need you to upgrade to the 6. So that way when someone's gifted a membership, there's a clear difference between the type of membership. I can't live stream the amount that we do. 3 shows a day, Monday through Friday. I can't do that and have memberships we need memberships, the floor going up. And this is one of the ways we're hoping that it helps. I'm curious to know how many matches you have played. Do you think you need to struggle through some more to get more consistent lobbies? Well, here's the thing, Jesse. If that were true, then why wouldn't you just wait? Why wouldn't you just wait to turn it on? Like, let me play for a couple of weeks and then softly introduce it. Homie, I got whiplash. Like, it's so extreme. Like I said, Hilly and I played 1 game of Kill Confirmed, and we won by 2 points. And every game after that, you could feel it in the air. Something changed. The caliber of players were different. Why? Because we put up good stats. I had like a 1.5 maybe, or a 1 KD. No, the member streams won't be changing, Diaz. We have tried to brainstorm about like segments, because it does seem like maybe somebody would become a member if there was a regular really good segment. But the challenge there is the lion's share of the member base responds most positively to talk shows. So for the time being, the content structure won't change. You'll just need to be a full member if you want to watch all of it. I just don't think the solution is going to be easy. Both systems have problems. Where did this come from? How Call of Duty can fix its SBMM problem. Many of those who oppose SBMM in games are often quick to note that the solution to this problem is an expansion of the game's rank system. Again, people differ on the details, but the idea is the most competitive multiplayer games should feature at least 2 modes. The first mode, designed for more casual play, will not utilize skill-based matchmaking, or will use a very toned-down version of the matchmaking system, while the second, a ranked mode, will utilize skill-based matchmaking and give players official rankings and rewards for reaching new levels. On paper, it's a solid solution, based on the belief that skill-based matchmaking systems don't offer an accurate indication of a player's skill level or any incentives to reach a higher skill threshold. In other words, top players are doing all of the work of playing against other top players, but they have nothing to really show for it outside of the pleasure of playing in a theoretically competitively balanced environment. The implementation of an expansive ranking system, complete with rewards, isn't even all that far-fetched. Games like Hearthstone, Overwatch, and League of Legends all offer some kind of reward reward and ranking system. While few would claim that any of those games feature perfect matchmaking, those games are obviously not caught in the crossfire of the SBMM controversy quite like Call of Duty, Apex Legends, and Fortnite. While an extensive ranking system could solve some of the SBMM problems, it's not a perfect solution. I think it'd be far better than what we have now. Love the new cam angle, so refreshing. Thank you. Do you think SBMM discourages camping? I have no idea. Your personal KD changes, sure. The distribution of the player base doesn't, though. I'm a 1.2 level 30. You can be a master prestige, but if you're a 1.2, you're likely going to go against each other. If you're a good player in casual, you'd be godly all the time, meaning you want to trash more noobs. Nope. No. That's a false dichotomy. See, so many people do what you just did, King Chili. If you're a good player in a casual, you'd be godly all the time. No, that's not true. Player distribution would say that that's not possible. King Chili, you are acting like I would go into the casual mode and seemingly nobody else like me would be there. Why? Why are you acting that way? That doesn't make any sense. There'd be other people in the pool at my level. There'd be people in the pool better than me. So no, I wouldn't go into a casual mode and be godly all the time. That doesn't stand to reason. That doesn't make any sense. Within the realm of a player distribution, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't add up. It's not like I go into casual play and they're like, everybody move. We only want this guy to play noobs. What? What are you talking about? I wouldn't, that's not possible. That's not mathematically possible. Good players like playing against good players who would all be in ranked anyway. Nope, that's also not true. Yeah, most of the population is Lonos with 1.0s. Yeah, you know, .80s and .75s and 1.0s. So good players would be only wanting to play against good players. We'd all be in ranked anyway. That's also not true. Some of the best players in the world want a ranked and unranked system because sometimes they don't want to play in ranked. Sometimes they want to just take it easy. They want to have some beers and play with their cousin. And their cousin's really, really bad. That was a Princess Bride reference. Guys, we have been streaming for a little over an hour. I'm being encouraged to run advertisements. We don't do that in the live environment. That's why we need people to do memberships. If you've never done a membership, click the join button. Sometimes you can get a discount on your very first membership. And if you do that, it will give you that discount. But make sure you pick a full membership. It's $6. The $5 membership is just there mainly for gifted members. I got the reference. Thank you. That's true. Sometimes you don't want a game to have so much stake at hand. I mean, this stream is devolving into only talking about skill-based matchmaking. Like, my review of Modern Warfare 2 is not very favorable. There's a lot of problems with it. The fundamental problem with skill-based matchmaking is if you can hack through all of the other things that I've talked about, the bad UI, the glitches, the bugs, the poor performance, people on PC can't even play the dadgum game, the false bans, the missing features. That's part of the problem is like you get on the other end of that. Hilly and I literally couldn't play on Friday night. It took us forever to play together. We finally got to play together and literally had one fun game. And every game after that, it was a sweat lodge. And it wasn't fun. People always make the mistake of thinking that, like, I just want to win. It's like, bro, I've had losses that are a blast. I've literally lost games that are so fun because I'm able to run around and kind of do stuff. I don't feel like I'm playing against Johnny Sweatband, who kills me faster and moves the map faster and runs the world. The game crashing when too many people join at that level of big team battle, not working in Halo. Yeah, that's at that level, Zubair. Just embarrassing. Like, how do you have a game that, like, people can't join my lobby? What did you guys do? What did you guys do? How is that even a thing? I want to know who hired the Hulu UI designer. They need to be isolated to the tutorial with Brad. The UI is just so bad. Anyone getting lag issues with MW2? I have super solid connection. I get random rubber banding issues. I never had rubber banding issues, but I did have this. The minute I could tell skill-based matchmaking was firing, my hit detection got worse. It was obvious I was probably getting put into lobbies where I didn't have the greatest connection. Yo, online MVP just gifted 10 members. Gundanium Colony, Delonte Capers, J. Wright, Corey, Inno, Homie, Mass Produce, Axel Foley, Adaptable Earth, and Atlas. If I just called your name, make sure and say thank you to Online MVP for those gifted members. That's a base membership. If you want to upgrade that to a full membership, it's $1. And from that point on, you'll be on a $6 membership and you'll have access to all of our extra members-only content. Max level already, and would just like to say this is the most fun I've had since Black Ops 3, but give the game a break. Everything that is missing right now will come out on the 18th. Have they said that? I've not seen any official announcements. Give the game a break. Give one of the largest franchises in the world a break. Give a game a break that has 11 studios working on it. No, I'm not going to give them a break. This isn't some little indie title. This isn't their first rodeo. No, I'm not giving them a break. The launch was bad. It's embarrassing. Missing features, UI is trash, glitches, bugs, crashes. My game crashed more on my PS5 than ever. I've never had a game crash this often. That's embarrassing. I'm not giving them a break. Are you kidding me? Give me a break. That would be like Ford being like, here's our brand new car, and it runs bad, and they got to recall half the parts, and you're like, well, give them a break. No, I'm not giving them a break. This is like the 1,000th car they've made. No, they don't get a break. I think they fixed the squad issues. We couldn't even play together on Friday night. It wasn't like in times past, you'd party up and it would kind of like lag out and you couldn't get into a match. It was crashing our game, bro. It was crashing our game. Party up. Okay, cool. Just join. Crash. What? You did say it was game of the year after 2 missions. It's funny when people say things that are so blatantly untrue, because it makes me wonder why you said that. I played 6 missions for close to 3 hours and said it was a game of the year contender. So how many lies can you tell in one sentence? Because you told a bunch. I didn't say it was game of the year. I said it was going to be a game of the year contender and surprise people, and I had played 6 missions. So, I don't know. Maybe shut the frick up if you're just going to come in here and lie. Did you try to go for the record? Let me tell 4 lies in one sentence. Let me see if I can break the record. He didn't say it was game of the year. He said it was game of the year contender. He played 6 missions. Oh, no, I'm going to say he played 2. Like, frick you. Give him a break. It has nice rims. Right. Like, here's the thing. I still praise the campaign. I'm replaying the campaign right now. Seriously, I'm replaying the campaign and I'm recording raw footage of the missions. And I'm having a blast. I still think the campaign's fantastic. I still think this is the bar. If you want to build a next-gen first-person shooter, this is the game that people are going to strive to hit this level. I still think that. And then when I play the multiplayer, it's like, what is this? What's going on? Do you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Halo Infinite. They release the campaign separate from the multiplayer, and the campaign gets a ton of praise, and then the multiplayer comes out, and it's in a shambles. What'd y'all do? Yo, I love seeing that. That's our first gifted member who immediately converted to a full membership. Thank you for doing that, Gundanium Colony. The multiplayer is fantastic too. Beneath all the problems, I actually think the multiplayer is quite good, yes. The rebuilt shooting feels good. I think the map design's good. I think the gameplay is actually quite good. It is. If you can get past the lag, the bugs, the skill-based matchmaking, the bad UI, the systems that have never been explained. Somebody explain the Spec Ops system to me right now. Try. I dare you. I bet you somebody that works at the dadgum company can't explain it to me. Seriously. Get somebody from Infinity Ward on the line, and I'll ask them about Spec Ops. I guarantee you they can't explain it. I guarantee you. They'll be like, you get stars. For what? Well, you get 3 for each mission. Okay, what about after that? Yeah, I don't really know. There's just a lot of stars to get. Where do I get them? How do I earn them? Do I earn them for the challenges like your website said? Because that's not working. Do I get them every week just for the first completion? How do I get stars in Spec Ops outside of the 3 completions? 3,000 developers in 3 years, and you can't make a proper game when COD 4 in 2007 was already good. Right. This explains Spec Ops to me. 99% of the player base doesn't care about it. Only the beginning. Earn at least 1 star in co-op. 0.1%. Luckily for PlayStation players, the problems are outside the actual gameplay. Yeah, if you turn off well, I don't agree with that. Skill-based matchmaking is toxic to the gameplay, Eugene. It's toxic. I have zero desire to play. On Saturday, my kids were playing their games, so I played a couple of games. I wanted to try third-person mosh pit. I didn't like it that much. I adjusted and I started to enjoy it more, but it was the same thing. I played like 2 games, got my bearings, did moderately well, and then it turned sweaty. Skill-based matchmaking is way overblown. No, it's not. I don't think so. No. There is no way this many people are zeroing in on it and it's overblown. I don't buy that for a frickin' minute. I went back and watched my gameplay and I found it hilarious that people were trying to tell me, oh, it's a gameplay issue. You're standing out in the open. I lost count how many times I couldn't even get to the first building. It's like, even if I would have taken people's advice and just ran to the first building, I died before I got there. Or I got there and then died. I put in 20 hours in this weekend. Yeah, and I guarantee you went to modes that are less populated. I would literally put money on the table that you went into like Prisoner Rescue. And it's a less populated mode, so SBMM is probably less extreme. Unless, of course, you team up. When you team up in those games, then yeah, those modes get pretty rough. Because they try to find other stacks. That map is trash. It's not a skill-based matchmaking issue. Your frustrations with SBMM certainly amplified what it was doing to you. But you have to understand something. When I play 3 games in a row and there's breathing room and I get a 1.0 and I lose 2 of those matches, by the way, and I was still having fun while losing, and then I end up in servers where people are pushed up, posted up, farming spawns. That's the result of skill-based matchmaking. You can blame the map design. You can blame the fact that, like, oh, lots of hardcore players are farming invasion for unlocks. It doesn't matter. I ended up in their lobby because of skill-based matchmaking. I didn't end up in their lobby by chance. So, dodging the problem by being like, well, that map's really bad, or lots of hardcore players are just going into invasion and spawn trapping. On that map, you're 90% going to lose if you spawn that side. Okay, but I played 2 different maps and had the same experience, Eugene. One had the blue buildings, and the other was the desert building where I literally posted on Twitter. I was alive for 6 seconds. You were having fun losing because the newness had not worn off yet. Thanks for telling me why I was having fun, Omega. That's always condescending and really enjoyable for somebody to tell me why I was having fun. I appreciate you knowing why I was experiencing fun. I'm too stupid to know why I was having fun. I'm glad you're here to tell me. Where would I be without you? That's not why I was having fun. I was having fun because I could move around, because I could do stuff, because I could get kills. I could put up a mediocre 1.0. That's why I was having fun. So, a couple nights later, I play with Hilly, and our first game, same deal. We can breathe. We can move around. We win by 2 points. It was pretty close. It was pretty fun. It's our fault, Hilly. That was fun because of the newness of it. It was the newness. Our mistake, Hilly. We weren't having fun because of the game and the flow and the vibe. It was just because it was new. That's not why. The whole vibe of the game changes, bro. I've been playing Call of Duty since the first game on PC. Like, I'm not booting up Invasion, which, by the way, I played both weekends in the beta, so there really wasn't any newness. I knew the map. I knew the flow. I knew where to go. I knew where the bots would spawn. So I wasn't like, oh, wow, it's so new. It was like the 20th time I was on that map. There wasn't anything new going on. It was, oh, man, I'm having a good time. I'm getting to play the video game. And then I got into a server where I couldn't move. I literally posted a clip on Twitter. I was alive for 6 seconds. I spawned, ran around a quarter, went right to a window, and before I could get to the window, was sniped. And you think I ended up in those lobbies by accident, or, oh, no. I wasn't having fun in those games because the newness wore off. The newness of the game. The new car smell wore off after 3 games on maps I had already played 2 different weekends in the beta. I really appreciate you telling me why I was having fun. EDM is a sweat fest if you're barely above average. Well, yeah, like Hilly and I ended up in some team deathmatch, and it felt the same way. It was extremely sweaty. And here's what everybody forgets. They think that I don't ever want to sweat or be challenged. And it's like, no, I actually find that to be pretty fun. I think those games can be fun. There was a couple of games that night where I was like, sorry, Hilly, I just had to do it. I had to activate. I turned it on. I started playing. I got in the zone. I stopped talking, and I threw down. And it was hard. It was sweaty. If I do that every once in a while, that's fun. But when I have to do that every game, the fun factor goes down. The fun factor goes into the toilet. It's like, that's not a standout game anymore. That's every single game. That's every single match. Did YouTube chat crash? The last thing I see is Hilly. Yep, it did. Hang on. Okay, now I can see what everybody's saying. Yeah, Hilly said something, and then nobody said anything for like the longest time. I was like, what is going on? Hilly said, sorry, man. That was the first game done with the newness wore off. Sniped by a bot? I wasn't sniped by a bot. I watched the clip. The guy was a really, really good player. I don't understand why you're being antagonistic. Do you want? Are you like asking to be banned? Like, I don't understand. Are you here this morning to have dialogue and a discussion, or to just douchily take shots at me? Like, I'm not quite sure what your goal here is. You don't want to get 1k XP for 15-minute matches? Oh, is the XP earn rate bad? 100 points for a kill. I'm good. I'll play something that levels me. It could be slightly better. I don't even feel like I've played that much, and I'm at level 35, about to be 36, and max is 55. Or are you talking about the guns themselves? I feel like actually leveling up your battle pass or whatever, which it's in such a weird place. That's so odd to like pause and go to progression. Some of the UI choices are just weird. But yeah, I'm level 35, about to be 36. I don't feel like I've played that much. And that's a pretty good chunk of the leveling. Are you talking about the weapons? Because I've not paid much attention to the weapon leveling. I got my M4 maxed, and I've got my Hurricane, I don't even know where, at it's decently leveled. I haven't touched Search and Prisoner because the progression's bad. How was your experience in other game modes? I can agree with most of your critique only in Invasion. Hilly and I went into quick play on Friday night, and we played Kill Confirmed, Team Deathmatch, and Domination. And we had the first game of the night, we won by 2 points. It was super close, and it was super fun. And then every game after that, I'm telling you, you can literally feel it in the air. You can feel like something has changed. Every match is sweaty. You're playing against people, they're running meta builds, they're sliding through doors, they got all these camo unlocks. Like, you can tell, oh wow, we're playing against we're in a different bracket. It's almost immediate. Yo, Dave, thank you for upgrading to a full membership. If you guys currently have a membership right now, and it's at the $5 base level membership, that's the new title of that, a full membership is $1 more. We need you to upgrade for the $1. From that point on, it'll be a $6 membership. That's going to enable us to have a dividing line between gifted members and actual full paying members. We will start changing how many videos of member stuff that you see in December. You have all of November to upgrade. It's only $1. That also means if you get gifted a membership, you can upgrade and get everything for $1. And then you'll have your own full membership. What's your ideal match? How should it go? I just don't want to get stomped. Like, that's what's so funny in the skill-based matchmaking debate. Everybody is avoiding stomps. The people that like skill-based matchmaking, they don't want to be stomped. And neither do I. And I feel that if I do moderately well, some of my favorite games from the other day, some of them were losses because I could just play. I could just run around, get some kills, work on some unlocks. I would end the game. A couple of those games, I was in the middle of the pack. I wasn't even at the top. I was dead center with a 1.0. And then all of a sudden, I'm in games where I can't do anything. I'm getting stomped. I'm getting shoved all the way down into the dirt. This guy says, not to be a prick, but you're criticizing a game that's been out for a week. Of course there'll be bugs, silly Billy. Imagine thinking that I'm the one being silly as you defend Call of Duty. Third largest franchise in the world, I think, and they have more developers on this than any other game in existence. You're defending a bad launch. Who's the silly one? Bazicon, thank you for upgrading to a full membership. In connection-based matchmaking, you'd get stomped sometimes, but you would not feel like you're getting stomped because you played well. That's the key difference. That's something that I think people don't understand. I don't mind getting blown out if it's random. Do you understand? There's a giant difference between, holy crap, that team was good, on to the next. That's not the same as, oh, I put up 3 games in a row with a 1.2 or a 1.0 KD, and now I'm being punished, and I'm playing against players that are way better than me. My KD goes negative, and the whole experience gets soured. I just walked in this bad launch. I'm confused. The Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer launch has been terrible. Bugs, glitches, crashes, missing features, a terrible UI. We couldn't even play together on Friday night. It just kept crashing our game. How dare you criticize a franchise that's been around for 15 years and pay $70 and expect a full-fledged experience? I know this is probably wrong, but I bought the game mainly for the new third-person mode, and it's trash to me. I get it as an FPS first, but that third-person mode needs a lot of work. I played Spec Ops in third person, and I thought it felt really good. I don't know. I feel like third person feels fine. Now, I only played third person Mosh Pit for a little bit on Saturday, and I had to adjust to the aiming, but I thought it felt pretty good. You can tell when you get shoved in a lobby where you are clearly the lower skilled players, and it always sucks. Right, exactly, Fireman. Like, that's my question to people. We had a big debate earlier about whether or not you could tell the player was good. And, oh, you can't just tell based by their KD. And I'm like, yeah, but I can tell by the way that they move. I can tell by the way that they fight. And they're like, no, you can't. I'm like, how bad are you at the game if you can't tell you're outmatched? You're basically admitting that you never trigger skill-based matchmaking if you never get into the experiences that some of us have been having. Like, if you're never getting put into servers where it's blatantly obvious you're out of your depth, then you're probably too bad to ever have skill-based matchmaking fire. Because I can tell immediately that it's happened. It's like you can smell it. You're like, oh no. I can like 30 seconds, 1 minute in, you're like, yeah, these guys are killers. These guys are killers. You can tell by the way that they move. You can tell by the way that they kill you. How do you feel about the guns? I actually really like the guns. I like how they rebuilt it. I feel like the guns handle really well. I think the tuning of the attachments could get really, really fun. Especially, my one concern about Spec Ops and raids is that you don't get to choose the guns you take in. So to me, that would be really enjoyable. Being able to take a weapon, fine-tune every attachment, and then take it into a PvE environment would be really enjoyable. Currently, Spec Ops just like gives you a set weapon loadout, which really takes away from the sense of like building and crafting and tuning weapons if you can only do that in multiplayer. Any experienced gamer can... Oh, he retracted it. Broken launches are the new norm, and people just keep buying the game. Stop pre-ordering. Don't give them money before the product is out. If people keep rewarding bad launches, then we get bad launches. To a certain degree, though, this was a game that I had a lot of confidence in. The beta was really good. My biggest complaint about the beta was that SBMM felt overtuned. It played well. Yo, thank you, Kunal, for upgrading to a full membership. Appreciate that. Balancing issues could occur with more flexibility, though. Any experienced gamer can tell if they're outmatched, just like a gamer can tell 660 hertz to 60 hertz to 140. Sure. Beta was good and launch was bad. Where have I seen that before? Oh yeah, Outriders. Yeah, we didn't have any issues during the beta. We didn't have any issues during the beta. We didn't have game crashes and bugs. I literally played the beta and I told people, I said, this is going to be a good game. This is really solid. My only complaint coming away from the beta was SBMM. That's what it was. SBMM. That was my biggest complaint. It was like, I could tell it was super, super overtuned. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee. The coffee orders have really slowed down. I think a lot of you guys are like in a holding pattern for Frickmas. Thank you so much for ordering a bag of Dark Jesse. If you guys are a fan of coffee, here at Reforge Gaming, we have our own coffee. It's called Reforge Roast, and it's balanced acidity coffee. If you've never had coffee with balanced acidity, you need to give it a try. You can do the best of both worlds bundle. It'll give you the dark and the light roast. Many people have tried it for the first time. We've gotten a lot of great feedback. Beta was unplayable on PC. Oh, see, I didn't play it on PC. I didn't know that. Glad to be here today. What's good, Train? Can we talk about spotting being disabled? Yeah, did you guys know this? This was really, really funny. So apparently you could spot a player and mark them, and they would be marked forever. They'd be like going through the map, and you could just see them through the walls. So they had to turn it off. It's like, why wouldn't you just have it be on a timer? Like, so people were getting marked. People were getting marked. And it was like, no matter where they went, they were marked on the map. It was like a legal wall hack. I was like, what the F? I know my wife's coffee is crap. That's why I buy the coffee. That's right. Finally converted my wife to dark roast. No need to get the light roast anymore. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you guys supporting the coffee. The coffee's ours, by the way. It's not a sponsor. Reforge Roast is in my home. My wife and kiddos bag it up and ship it to you. You get a little drawing from my kids. You're basically supporting a small business. I'm marking anyone that killed me. F them. Well, they disabled it. Anyone else get the bullet time glitch? It tripped me out? No, I didn't have that. Testing. We tested in the beta. We gave feedback, and then they changed nothing. I don't think actual testing exists anymore. I mean, if we're honest, a beta is literally a stress test for the servers. That's all it is. I was using Spotter last night, worked fine. Mark only lasts about 5 seconds. Well, I mean, maybe they re-enabled it, but it was glitched. Yeah. Yeah, they actually changed quite a bit. They changed quite a bit from the beta. Yeah. There were a few matches, I'm sure that happened to me. Everyone knew where I was all of the time. Misclick. Yeah, Plazzy, he tried to approve your statement saying you just stab people under the water. It grabbed your message for whatever reason. No, there's a spotter perk. Lono is talking about pinging. Oh, yeah, we're talking about two different things. They disabled pinging. You could literally ping an enemy, not spot an enemy. You could ping an enemy, and they would stay pinged forever. You know how you, like, mark... It's in the very first mission. They have you, like, mark the guy before launching the missile. That's what people have been doing. They ping you, and then you just stay... like, people can see you through the walls. I personally don't like how they made the unlocking of all the attachments and guns. So, yeah, let's talk about that. That was one of my criticisms. So my Modern Warfare 2 review is honestly mostly critical because I loved the campaign and had a great time, and then I went and played this, and I don't know, I feel like I'm playing a half-baked game. And the gunsmith system, to me, it still doesn't seem well-built. It doesn't seem well-built at all. Let me say it another way. It doesn't seem well-organized. I can't find anything. It's basically like this. If you consistently use the weapons in the order of their tree, then you're fine. If you break from that and you try to go find something or you want to unlock something, it's like you can't even do it. You are tripping. Game doesn't feel half-baked. How does it not feel half-baked, Distorted? Missing features, bugs, glitches, UI that doesn't make sense. People join you and it freezes. The whole game freezes. The PC players can't even play the game. False bans on people on PC. Missing files. We're talking about Call of Duty AAA launch, and I'm not even done listing all the problems. It feels half-baked. It's not running like a AAA game. The UI is god-awful, and it's tons of bugs and glitches. PC players can't play. No one told me that. I was playing all weekend. Okay, when I say PC players can't play, you understand I'm not saying every single person who plays on PC can't play, Abe. You understand that statement's generic and not all-encompassing, right? Do we need educated on basic colloquialisms and linguistic practices? Can't have multiple players in a multiplayer game. Read that again. Yeah, we couldn't even play on Friday night. I had 7 crashes on my PS5. That's a half-baked game, bro. What are you talking about? I don't give a crap about the PC experience. Didn't even want those clowns in my matches. That's a great response to all the problems with the game, Distorted. That's great. Call an entire player base clowns. That makes sense. That's intellectual. That's very thoughtful. I'll use that the next time I want to defend a bad launch. What the hell? It's running fine for me on console. I only get kicked when running a squad every now and then. Plenty of people in this community play on PC. Thanks for calling them clowns. About time. Oh, look at that. That's fantastic. I played all weekend, only had 1 crash, squatted up with my cousins. I have yet to experience these issues on PC. There is a laundry list of issues on PC. There's a laundry list of issues on PC. Like, are long-standing members of this community actually arguing that way this morning? Are you actually saying, I'm not having any issues? What? So what? There's a laundry list of issues on PC. There's false bans of people on PC. I'm on PC and I can't play with more than one person. Clowns beside my homies on PC. All the people I don't know on PC, get them out of there. Are you drunk? Why are you talking like that? Sounds like most of the problems are on PC. No. Are you kidding me? Hilly and I tried to play on Friday night. He's on Xbox. I'm on PS5. Every time we tried to play together, the game crashed. Every time we got a third player in our lobby, my game froze. Even when Hilly and I finally got into games, it was still glitchy and bugging out and almost crashing. You could feel it, like the whole game would freeze, and then we'd get into a game. He was playing on an Xbox. I was playing on a PS5. Now, you could blame it on crossplay, but there were times where I got joined by two PS5 guys and the whole game froze. I was literally playing with two guys on PS5 and my whole game froze. Exactly what I'm thinking. My fam and buddies were all playing this weekend and we didn't experience these issues. I don't know, the issues seem to be a vocal minority. I don't understand. I thought some of y'all were actually intelligent people. I guess I thought too highly of some of you. So there's laundry lists of problems, bugs, and glitches, and you're gonna say, I didn't have any problems, so it must just be a vocal minority. I like I said, I thought some of y'all were intelligent. That's not an intelligent response. That's literally the brain dead apologist response. We have people come in here and do that all the time. I'm like, that's not a thoughtful response. I'm not having any problems. How is it a vocal minority when it's at a 55% on Steam? Yeah, it's a vocal minority. But it's getting a 55% on Steam. After Lono's game would crash, it would ask me if he wanted to buy Game Pass on the PlayStation 5. Hang on. I want to verify that. Is it actually at a 55% on Steam? 55% out of 30,000 users. Just a vocal minority, though, bro. You're not having any problems, so it's fine. Not when it comes to COD, no. I'm toxic. 1,000% of the time, it brings it out of me, but so do the other players. Well, remind me to never play with you. I wouldn't rely on Steam, most downloaded through Battle.net. Sure, no, yeah, I wouldn't take serious 30,000 reviews. No, yeah. What is happening? What is going on? Is my wife gonna walk through the door with some kind of a TV? What's happening? Some of my smartest chat contributors turned dumb on me. What's happening? Are you guys pranking me right now? Is this punked? Is Ashton Kutcher gonna walk through the door and be like, all these guys that typically come here and have thoughtful things to say, they're gonna say really dumb stuff this morning, bro. We got you so good. We got you so good, bro. What the frick is happening? 30,000 people have reviewed it on Steam, and that's a 55%. And your cope is that, well, most people get it on Battle.net. What? That's not a response. That's not a response. There's clearly problems. 30,000 is nothing compared to the millions of copies. So yes, keep calling people dumb. But no. 30,000 people reviewed it on Steam and it has a 55%. You can't pull fallacy of the group here. Oh, way more people get it somewhere else. Oh, well, okay. What, can I see the Blizzard scores? Ristic with a $5 tip through Super Chat. So did IGN get the right score? No, they didn't get the right score on the campaign. That was a campaign review that I disagreed with. I'm replaying the campaign right now. I really still strongly disagree with the IGN campaign review. I thought the guy's criticisms were completely unsubstantiated. I pressed in on every claim that he made at the beginning of his review. He didn't substantiate a single one of his claims in the review. My guess is Steam makes up the smallest group of COD players. But why does that matter? I don't understand. So listen to the argument. I want you to listen to the abysmal state of the argument that we're having right now. And y'all did this, not me. We start listing the issues that the PC is having, and I hear from people, the tried and true, super thoughtful, well, I'm not having any issues, means nothing. That literally means nothing. That doesn't mean that there aren't problems. So then we go and we look at the review scores on Steam, and then I get told, well, most people don't get it on that platform. That has nothing to do with 30,000 people scoring a game and it hitting a 55%, and all of the reasons cited are performance issues. Like bugs, glitches, trying to roll back drivers, all these problems. I don't understand. He played since Friday, just curious, because I had a bad launch day. Almost all of those issues have been fixed in the next day. Obviously, like we're complaining about old stuff. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is currently Steam's top seller with about 240,000 concurrent players. Here are the details about PlayStation bonuses and more. Yeah, it's a Steam top seller. It has 250,000 concurrent players, but you know, these people don't know what they're talking about. Like, because they're a smaller group than those who got it on Battle.net, their opinions and reviews are somehow invalidated? Is that the logic connection you're trying to make? Well, there's less of them, so it's irrelevant. What? There's less people buying the game on Xbox. Can I make that argument then? Let me defend Modern Warfare 2 by saying, oh, look at the poor score it got on Xbox. Well, not as many people get it on Xbox. I'm allowed to invalidate the review scores of Xbox users because less people buy it on Xbox compared to PlayStation. Am I allowed to use that argumentation? Because that's the argumentation you're using. I had issues on console, but I'm simply saying that the vast majority of players do not download from Steam when it comes to COD. That is irrelevant to the discussion about the bugs and the glitches and the review score. So 240 active players, 55% of 30,000 don't like the game. Seems like a roaring success to me. Chat, I read that. I had to read that out loud. 55% of 30,000 seems like a roaring success because people are playing. What? Huh? What is it? Huh? No. No one will ever argue that. If a game gets a really bad score, Steam especially is way more reliable. Those are verified purchases. This isn't like some review bomb on Metacritic. Those are verified purchases. And if some game gets a 55%, you can't run to Steam charts and be like, well, it's a roaring success. You sound like some corporate disconnected apologist. Like, we're having a roaring success. Look how many people are playing. It's got a 55%. What? That's not a defense. What's happening? What is going on? It's okay. Call of Duty will be okay. You're allowed to criticize it. Makes sense. You said 250,000 people got it on Steam. No, I didn't say that. It was a Steam top seller and it had 250,000 concurrent players. That's not what I stated. 55% is only 30% have issues. Oh my gosh. I can't. I can't do it, chat. I can't do it. Let's see. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warcare. That'd be a great game. I can't do it, chat. The scores are invalidated. Metacritic, it's got a 6.4 on the PlayStation 5. It's only been rated by 83 people on PC, so that's a terrible sampling. What's Xbox getting? 63. Yeah, it doesn't have anybody, for whatever reason, MW2 has almost no user scores on Metacritic. I don't get it. Even the PS5 only has 169. Why is this thing got no review scores on Metacritic? Usually by now a game like this has thousands of reviews. People realize not everyone with complaints make reviews, right? Not everyone with complaints make reviews. I'm not sure what you're saying, Eugene. YouTube Lurker with a 7-month milestone at the Tier 3 membership. If we're going to go back to the old tropes, I want to put my PhD dissertation in chat. Remember, at the last second, it's Q&A, then end with thoughts. Keep on keeping on, Lono. Thank you, YouTube Lurker. No review scores just means that everything's amazing and everything's okay. Only 169 reviews on PS5 Metacritic. That's why I made the vocal minority comment. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You presumed it was a vocal minority, and when I trotted out the Steam numbers, that was dismissed as, 30,000. Most people play on Blizzard. What? Most people play on Battle.net. What? You didn't say that because of Metacritic. You didn't cite Metacritic at the time. You're trying to retroactively be like, well, I said it was a vocal minority because there's only a couple of Metacritic scores. 30,000 people on opening weekend is not a small number of people. That's a lot of frickin' people. COD never does well on Metacritic users. Look at that. Look at the below. I'm not worried about Metacritic. Steam's all I need. Yeah, Steam's all I need. If 30,000 people are landing it at 55%, it's not doing very well on PC. You have to understand what I'm saying. And this is what always happens. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It has lots of problems on PC, as evidenced by a 55%. The PC user base was super excited to get this game on Steam for the first time. And it's getting a really bad score because it has problems on PC. These are just facts. Like, this isn't my opinion. It's a fact that it has lots of issues and problems on PC, as been cited by a couple of articles, as has been cited by users on Reddit. They're like, these are all the problems we're running into. Yo, K-Laugh, thank you so much for upgrading to a full membership. If you guys are currently paying for a membership here on this channel, you need to upgrade to a full membership. It's only $1. From that point on, you're going to be on a $6 membership, but it will create a dividing line between gifted members and full members. We need to create an incentive to actually upgrade and take your own membership because nobody did, and people were super generous in September, and almost none of those people converted. So we would like to make there a more clear dividing line between the two. All the PC issues are from people not updating their drivers on their GPU and Windows updates. False. People are just typing things now. Why would you type that? That's not true. There's literal articles on the fact that the latest drivers cause problems. That's false, bro. A cope is ridiculous. It's just so rough. Every game that gets criticized, people just have tropes. Like they have cope tropes. It rhymes. Cope tropes. Oh, well, people just aren't updating. No, that's not true. There's an entire article about the fact that the latest drivers are causing some of the issues. I'd say 1% of gamers have a negative experience with Call of Duty. Unsubstantiated cope. 7 months from Scotty B. How do I upgrade for that $1? And Mr. Fury renewed their membership. You got to go to your memberships and click See Perks. If you're on mobile, you click like your profile and you go to like purchases and memberships, go to channel membership, See Perks. If you're on PC, I think you just go to like the membership tab and then you just click, or just click join, and then I think you can do it there too. A 4-month milestone from McDiesel. Add a full membership. I think I joined the Bizarro channel on accident. What year is it? Some people are claiming Gotham Knights is a great game. What's the need to defend Call of Duty? It's okay. It's okay to say... Oh, there you go. See Perks, subscribe. Oh, it should be a button that just says See Perks now. It's a new button. Regarding the only 30,000 on Steam, not everyone who has problems goes to the internets to complain. Right, so there could be more people than that 30,000, right? Like, we don't know. The score could actually be much worse if every single person that has a problem goes to Steam to write a review. Like, that's the point that we're making. Like, all right, we're getting lost in the weeds. So let me make something perfectly clear here. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying they had a bad launch. Do you see the difference? PC ports have always been bad. I don't think that that's true. Thank you for 3 months. I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm saying they had a bad launch. Look at the critiques and the complaints and the criticisms. And then look at the score it has on Steam. And you can't dismiss that. Well, I'm not having any problems. Wait. Okay, what on earth? If 30,000 people gave a car a 50% because of problems, bugs, and glitches and recalls, you're like, well, mine's not having any problems. Like, that doesn't have anything to do with the fact that your neighbor's car lit on fire when he unlocked it. Also on Xbox, I'm not seeing any performance issues besides disconnects and the ping being disabled for everyone. This is definitely more of a PC issue. No, it's not. No, it's not. Hilly and I played. He's on Xbox. I'm on PS5. And we played on Friday night and had nothing but problems and crashes. Nothing but problems and crashes. Now, if you're like, oh, they already patched that. They already patched that. Well, I should frickin' hope so. Because we couldn't even play together. We literally couldn't even party up. And still to this day... I will put, I bet you $10. Yeah, Xbox can't even disable crossplay. It's just a PC issue, man. Come on. Stop it. Stop with the nonsense. Like, is it a cross-platform issue? I don't know. I had people on PlayStation 5 join my game, and my whole game froze, and then it would unfreeze after so many seconds. Like, there's something baked into the game that's just weird. People joining your game should not be causing that. Like, I play Fall Guys crossplay, and that doesn't happen. And even when I'm not playing crossplay, I had people joining, and it like my whole game froze. It's like, what's happening? That's happening to me too. Is it still happening? Like, that's not a good experience. Hey, yeah, man, I'm joining you, and then the whole game goes, and it just holds. Gah, and then it lets go. It's like, oh, here's a person, here's your buddy. That's not defensible. Crossplay and ping aren't exactly deal breakers nor performance related issues, not really affecting the big picture experience. You're not engaging with anything that I'm saying. It just, that reads like copium, bro. And I hate using that word. That just reads like copium. Bad launch, bugs, glitches, problems, crashes, missing features. Yeah, I mean, it's none of this really deal breakers. I mean, it's not really affecting the big picture experience. What? You're not responding to what I'm saying. That's not a response. It's nonsensical. It's called a toasted Cope sandwich. Like, of all the games that, listen, if this game would have launched and maybe it was like hard to get into games, or maybe there was some lag or some server issues, I'd be like, Those are growing pains. Those are the launch pains of a big title. We're not talking about that. We're talking about things in the game, but things not working. Missing features. A UI that feels clunky and bad. Intrinsic lag in the game when someone joins you. Tell me how I should feel about those small issues? I'm not telling you how you should feel about it. Can't remember basically any games without the same level of issues launching the last couple of years. It's what I expect now. I haven't had a single game launch recently that crashed 7 times in a row on my PS5. I can tell you that. That was a first for me. I'm loving the game, and the copium contact high I'm getting from people over actual issues and problems is nuts. Like fundamental issues. Yeah, like I've really enjoyed. We haven't even talked about Spec Ops today. And I really, really like Spec Ops. I had a blast playing with Butters, but there are significant problems with Spec Ops. There's bugs, there's glitches, there's things that don't work right. Why? What happened? You launched this cool suite of stuff for us to do, and one of the brand new things that doesn't even work right. It was only on day 1. I haven't had a single crash after Friday, and I played for hours every day since launch. Like I have to shake. It's like when a dog like shakes the water off of them. I just have to shake that off. That just doesn't. That's not. You're not saying anything. That statement doesn't say anything. Oh, I haven't had any crashes. So I had a crash yesterday. I was just trying to play the campaign, and I was trying to load up a mission to record, and it booted me all the way back out to the main screen. That wasn't a crash where like the PlayStation's like, your game crashed, but it kicked me all the way out. I got all the way to the mission and it kicked me all the way out. That was just yesterday. Like, I'm not saying that means the game is broken. I'm saying they haven't resolved all of the issues. Here's another one. Tweeted, we're disabling attachment tuning until further notice to investigate crashes for users with 5 attachments tuned. If you currently have a tuned attachment equipped, you will need to unequip and re-equip it to use your loadout. Come on, bro. Come on. You know what's not happening to me? I think you should know. I saw some of the same issues people are currently experiencing during the beta. Later, I saw one streamer couldn't even play the campaign without signing in. It has terrible design and it's buggy. I just had 2 crashes this morning, says Drac. So for people who haven't had problems, good for you. Just stay quiet if that's all you're going to say. And like everything's working as intended. The whole point of what I'm saying is not, I'm not bashing the game. I'm saying it's a bad launch. This was a mess. It's okay to admit that. There are weapon attachments that I have completed the requirements that I can't use. Yeah, like, it's like every section of the game. That's why I said it's half-baked. There's entire portions of the game that just don't work properly. Spec Ops stars aren't explained and don't work properly. The challenges in Spec Ops are bugged. Attachments are bugged. Tuning is bugged. Like, come on. These are all of the things that we're supposed to be like celebrating. Oh, these all new systems. Yay. Thank you, Scotty B, for upgrading to a full membership. I had to restart 2 different missions because this checkpoint got corrupted and wouldn't load without crashing. Murph says, to those who aren't having issues, great, fantastic news for you. Who the blank cares if you're not having issues? It still doesn't invalidate other people having issues. There are other people in the world other than you, the person not having issues. Jiminy effing Christmas. Jiminy effing freaking Christmas. Game is in chaos, worse than any previous COD to date. Well, you're saying you had problems. I'm saying I didn't. It doesn't need to be a whole complaint fest in here of everyone complaining about their issues. I didn't have those issues, so I'm going to take that side of things. Yeah, and with all due respect, your side's a logical copium and my side's factual. So why no one cares what you're saying. I don't care. Who cares you're having issues when a lot of us aren't? I swear to frick, you let somebody else on your account this morning. Somebody else is typing for you, Distorted. Like, you are not the person that I typically engage with. I don't know what the frick is going on, but listing out problems and talking about the issues and why it's a mess and how it's frustrating, that's like literally what a review is supposed to do. Like, that's what I'm doing. You can't counter factual problems and like things that aren't working properly. You can't counter it by being like, well, I'm not having any problems. Really? Explain to me the star system. Explain to me the bugs in Spec Ops not rewarding stars. Explain to me the bugs in Spec Ops challenges. Explain to me the bugs with tuning. Explain to me the bugs with attachments not working. Explain to me having to disable pinging. Explain to me disabling attachments. Explain that all to me. You're not having crashes. Well, then explain all those things to me. Do your attachments work? Are your stars working in Spec Ops? Are the challenges in Spec Ops working for you? Is tuning working for you? Do you have all the attachments unlocked that are bugged and not working for people? Is all that stuff working for you? Because if not, then shut the frick up. If those things aren't working for you, then shut up. Because those are the things people are talking about. No one cares that your game isn't crashing. That's not what we're discussing. There's stuff that's not working, bro. Can you get all the things to work in your game, Distorted, that ours can't? Did you get a special install? Seriously, how many stars do you have in Spec Ops? Are you able to use your attachments? Are you able to do tuning right now? No? Then be quiet. Then be quiet. A $5 tip from JW. I mean, I basically filled Sony's DMs with all the error report crashes I've had just saying. Thank you for the 5 spot, JW. That's what I mean. Like, this isn't a complaint fest or a bash fest. It's like every part of the game has an issue, bro. Like, how's that not upsetting and disappointing and irritating? We were all looking forward to this game. I'm looking forward to the raids. I've really enjoyed my time in Spec Ops, but I want it to work correctly. I want it to work correctly. Like, I booted up the game on a Saturday and took time to do challenges, and it didn't work. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, it's a launch weekend. Well, you know, I paid $70 for a AAA title, one of the third largest franchises in the world. They have 11 studios on Call of Duty. I mean, I should just cut them some slack. I took time out of my day to come in here, turn all my stuff on, go into Spec Ops and do challenges, and it didn't work right. I didn't get my stuff. I saw people that ran Spec Ops, and they didn't get 3 stars because of a bug, because of a glitch. And Spec Ops takes a really long time. The one that the guy was talking about is the one where you literally have to defend against waves. And you're supposed to get less, 3 bomb plants or less, and they got 0. They had a flawless run, and they got 1 star, because it's bugged. Thank you for upgrading to a full membership, Ani. Dr. Red, you think this is bad? Wait for the raids to drop. Thank you for 4 months, Dr. Red. I snatched the phone back from my brother. I'm listening on my wireless buds. I can't scroll up and see what he's saying. Was he talking smack? I hope that's the case. I said multiple times, I was like, I don't feel like I'm talking to Distorted. Like, listen. I want the game to be really, really good. I don't put time, effort, passion, and frustration into criticism of a game I'm not enjoying. I'm really enjoying this game. I'm literally replaying the campaign right now. I think it's fantastic. It's so fun. I really enjoyed playing Spec Ops with Butters, and I want it to work. My second stream today is literally me playing Spec Ops to work on the challenges, and I know it's not gonna work right. But I'm gonna show it off, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna talk it through. So everything I'm saying is rooted in the fact that, like, I really, really want this game to be good. I really, really want the raids to be good. What's the argument? I'll dig in. If it wasn't you, he was basically saying he's having no problems. He said, screw the PC community. He's 1,000,000% toxic when it comes to COD. I was like, what the frick is going on? My Spec Ops experience has been buggy as crap. Enemies spawn behind you. Enemies just disappear. Players don't load. Just a backpack floating. Oh, there's logistical problems with Spec Ops for sure. Yes. There is logistical problems. There's just stuff that doesn't work right. Yep. There are logistical problems. Like, when you load into Spec Ops and you do matchmaking, if the person doesn't walk forward and push a button, they just hold you hostage. You can't even load into the one of them. You're just left standing there. Like, you can't be like, well, if this guy wants to AFK, that's fine. I'll go work on challenges. I'll go try and solo this. You can't even do that. You can't do that. It won't let you. You just have to stand in the ship. I'm sorry, in the plane. You can't get out. So they didn't think through some of the most basic stuff. It was like, what is this? I don't understand. Why would you set this up in this way? I finally got the UI update on my gaming account. It looks so nice. I like all of the new icons. I think it looks so good. I guess I have too many tags. Really? There we go. I was like, nobody's probably using that one. Modern Warfare II. Nobody's using that. Any duration on subscriptions. 12.15. I wonder if the scheduling of the streams will go smoother now. That went a little bit smoother. I really, really hope these UI updates finish and we stop having blips, problems, and weirdness. If you guys are enjoying the show, do me a favor and smash that like button. We only need like 40 more likes to get to the next like milestone, and it does help out the video. 500 likes would be a great, great like ratio for this video. Go play something else. Argument. People really love implosions. Oh, is somebody telling me to go play something else? That's the thing. Like, I want to play this game. Like, this has not been a bashing fest. Like, we actually spent probably the first hour of today's stream talking about skill-based matchmaking. And then we started talking about the bugs and the glitches. And I felt like I just had a bunch of people telling me that, like, well, I'm not having any problems, so it's totally fine. 30,000 people reviewing it on Steam and it having a 55%. Well, that doesn't matter because most people don't play there. I was like, what the frick is going on? Like, that's what he was saying, Distorted. Like, if it truly wasn't you. I said numerous times I felt like I wasn't talking to you. It didn't feel like I was having a conversation with you. It felt like I was talking to somebody else. Have you had the issues with loadouts and profiles not saving? No, I've had the issue where I click on loadouts and it kicks me all the way back out to the gameplay selection menu. Like I literally just go to click to edit my loadout. And it's like blink, and it just kicks me all the way back out. I'm like, huh? There's lots of really like ghosts in the machine stuff that happens. You just go to click on something, you end up back out of it. Like, I mentioned this one earlier. They offered... Oh, I've been offered Scorn. I mean, I'll redeem it. We'll get credit for coverage. I played Scorn on this channel. I can give... If you guys are a VIP member, this is a great reason to be a VIP member. I'm going to throw a Scorn key in the VIP room because I don't need it, but they'll give us credit for the coverage because we've already played it. We've already played it. The embargo drops on October the 14th. Well, thanks. 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 VIP room. Scorn. Xbox code. I already own the game, so I can't use the code. But they'll give me credit for coverage. So we played that live on stream. Last time I let my brother borrow my phone while I'm watching the stream. Sounds like he was riling everyone up. All the ads I'm getting, I'll have to pay him back later. I mean, like, I don't... that seems like such a cliche internet excuse. Because I was literally... like, we got, like, 2 or 3 sentences in, and I was like, Distorted, are you drunk? I don't know if I used your name. I'm pretty sure I used your name. Which is why I don't know why it didn't alert you that something was wrong. I was like, bro, are you drunk? Like, what is going on? There we go. Side note, one game I thought was very original and had a good story gameplay was Control. Oh, yeah, I wanted a sequel to Control really, really bad. They're apparently working on, like, a... they're working on a... I can't think of the name. Multiplayer. They're working on, like, a multiplayer Control game. I'm like, really? You guys like my shirt, by the way? It's an all-over print. Here, let me take this off so you can see the sleeve. Sleeves actually cut. It's got like these lines printed on it. It's a really, really comfy too. It's like super soft. Into the AM, new partner of the channel. We are still working with 80s Tees. So if I'm ever wearing one of the 80s t-shirts, you can still use code Lono at 80stees.com. But this is intotheam.com/Lono, or just use code Lono over there on Into the AM. It will support me. Their all-over prints do run a little bit bigger, and I've lost weight. So, like, this fits me a little looser than I like, but it's super cozy, like, comfy. That's why I like it. Doesn't sound like a bad excuse, but I think you know me at least somewhat well enough to see the difference. I said numerous times that I didn't feel like I was talking to you. Like, the way that he was talking, I was like, even when Distorted's irritated or defending a position that I don't agree with, he doesn't argue like this. It didn't sound right. What your experience is the growing concern that people expect you to love it and have no complaints, or you bash it and turn the whole stream and taking shots at the game you can't win. I also agree with your take on Dead Space. Callisto's blowing that game out of the water. Yeah, I have a short of a Callisto freeze frame that looks really good that we'll run sometime this week. Our short this morning about skill-based matchmaking just freaking took off. I forgot to pin. I got to get in a better flow with that. I forgot to pin a message on it. Well, it'll probably still keep pulling numbers. So I'm going to do that now. Yeah, I don't have the front end change yet, Creature. I don't have videos, shorts, and live yet. Mine doesn't break apart like that. Anytime we do a short, we want to like pin a message that says, hey, here's where it was clipped from, and I didn't do that with this skill-based matchmaking short. Full video. Oh, Creature did it. Thank you, Creature. Wait, 3 days ago. Wait. Hang on. Oh, that's the wrong one. I was like, oh, Creature already did it. I clicked on the wrong short. Full stream. Hang on. Flipped from full stream, comment, and then pin. I was like, oh, Creature already did it. And I was like, nope, that's my other skill-based matchmaking video. Shirt link, please. It's right above you in the chat, Vapor. Murphdog did the command. I'm not okay with the amount of money I paid for this half-butt game. And see, that's the thing. Like, we spent $70 on this, man. We should expect excellence. I don't mess with your shorts in the morning. Hear me out. One of the reasons I get so fired up when a game comes out, like Modern Warfare 2, and it's got bugs and glitches and it has a pretty bad launch, is because I'm in support of the $70 price point. And when a game is at the $70 price point and is disappointing, It's not helping that cause. I think that's better for the market to rise with inflation and to have these games supported so their margins are better, so future projects are better funded. Now, obviously, Call of Duty is not strapped for cash, but when Plague Tale Requiem came out and had tons of performance issues, Gotham Knights comes out, runs really poorly. Modern Warfare 2 was supposed to be sort of like the, hey, here's how you launch a $70 next-gen title. And the campaign, I thought, was that. Then Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer landed, and I was like, what is this? This is a disaster. Stuff's not working right. Stuff is bugged. Stuff is breaking. I had 7 crashes on my PS5 on Friday night. That's inexcusable. That is inexcusable from a AAA game. I should not be having crashes on a console. Update your drivers, bro. It's a console. Let's blame it on the S. No. This game also had a beta, says Nova. If they saw huge bugs during the beta, they should communicate that to us so that we know when fixes are coming. I think there's a focus on Warzone. They want to be perfect. They don't care about multiplayer. Single player, 8 out of 10. Multiplayer, 7 out of 10. Spec Ops, 6.5 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10 overall game. So not going to ask for a refund just yet, says Steve. I agree. I felt like the single player was a solid 8.5. I didn't agree with how they ended it, and some of the stealth moments I didn't think played that well. There's also things where it plays sloppy if you don't follow what they kind of want you to do. I had that experience with the mission with the water and like the boats and stuff where you're swimming in the water. If you don't do it exactly how they kind of envision you doing it, it just gets really sloppy and messy. And the enemy AI and accuracy is so silly. They see you from a mile away, and like as their gun's coming up, you get like instantly shot. And so I give the campaign like an 8.5 out of 10. Multiplayer, yeah, it's getting a pretty low rank from me. Spec Ops is doing okay, but it's got stuff that doesn't work right. A lot of the network stuff is probably just typical. I'm not worried about that. But like attachments unlocks not working, that's not typical networking issues. That's exactly right. The bugs are all fixable stuff, says Abe. The lack of features is concerning. Overall, I'm having fun, but I guess I'm lucky to not have issues that everyone's having. Right, like, if you're not having issues, like, I never want to be like, shut up. But it's like, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about, like, driver frame rate issues. There's just stuff that isn't working. There's stuff that's missing. I was crashing a ton on release day. I was mainly playing TDM, DOM, and Kill Confirm, so I can't speak on the whole game. It's not amazing and definitely has some issues. I like it more than Vanguard, though. Well, yeah, I mean, Vanguard was pretty poorly reviewed. Can't believe we still have a jump button in COD. I get vaulting. But man, they talk about how realistic the game is. But we got Michael Jordan. I tell you what, I don't see a lot of bunny hopping anymore. I ran into drop shotting more than bunny hopping. Bunny hopping's not as effective as it was in the beta. I think they nerfed it. I'm dead serious. I was playing against sweaty players the other day, and they were not bunny hopping nearly as much as they used to. I think they nerfed it. I remember I was trying to jump up and grab something, and I jumped, and I felt like my second jump was super weak. Bunny hopping's near unusable now. I'm kind of glad. I thought that ruined the beta at times. It was like, playing against better players is one thing. Playing against better players that fly around every corner and they hop like a dum-dum. It's like, what is this? Like, it just doesn't feel like thoughtful combat. It ends up feeling like incredibly silly. Man, people get really, really angry about skill-based matchmaking. They get really, really angry. It's unbelievable. They said they nerfed it. Your PMC jumps less and less the more you continuously jump. Yeah. Yeah, it's an all-over print. Yeah, this is an all-over print. Yep. When's DMZ coming? DMZ's coming with Warzone as far as I know. You can still bunny hop like you said. The second hop is slowed down and your aim bounces all over the place. Dope shirt, thank you. If you guys want to support what we do here, do me a favor. Smash the like button. Consider clicking subscribe. We're going to be jumping into Spec Ops in a little bit because we want to kind of test it out. We want to test out the challenges. I think it's bugged. I don't think it's working because they said you're supposed to get stars for the challenges, and we're not. Now, we, throughout the month of November, are going to continue to do members-only content. This Saturday, November the 5th, remember, the 5th of November, Saturday night is the Star Wars watch party, okay? It was supposed to happen last week, but Call of Duty launched, and it wasn't going to be a good choice, okay? All of the month of November, I need you to upgrade to a full membership. That's $6 instead of $5. It's a $1 increase. From that point on, you're going to be on that full membership for $6. We don't have a dividing line right now between gifted members and paying members. This will help us with that. So if you're paying for your own membership, bump up to the $6. We also made it a lot easier to bump up to VIP. VIP is only $9.99. So we need you to do that before December, okay? You go into your settings, you go into your See Perks button, or you hit your profile button on membership and go to memberships and payments and switch this one to a full membership. If you like my shirt, it comes from intotheam.com. Use code Lono or go to intotheam.com/Lono. Thank you for 5 months, Atlas. Thanks for the gift. By the way, Steam reviews are binary, meaning 45% of the reviewers downvoted the game. But yeah, vocal minority. VIP Club, baby. That's right. Theophilus, what's good? Good to see you. Not one for those of us that get the discount. I have to pay the difference of like $3.50. Oh, you got a discount on your first. Well, you wouldn't stay at that though, lazy nerd. You're not always at a discount, are you? Isn't it just the first month discounted? So eventually you were going to be on a $5 membership. I don't think you don't keep the discount in perpetuity, do you? That would be kind of weird. I thought the whole point of the discount was to like get you in to try it. And then after that, it would be no longer discount. Yeah, eventually. Okay, yeah. That's the whole point. The whole point is that we need to be able to tell somebody, hey, thanks so much for being here. You got a gifted membership. Instead of getting literally everything we do for members, we want to give people a sample when they're on a gifted. Did you see the vid about your SBMM vid? Dude tried to say you're complaining about playing against other people on the same PC as you. Yeah, he had no idea what I was talking about. Yeah. So many of the people that replied to the skill-based matchmaking video Vapor, they had no idea what I was saying. It was hilarious to me how many people responded to my skill-based matchmaking video and they assumed I was a pro that puts up crazy stats. They started defending like casual dad players. I'm like, I'm the casual dad player. I get a 1.0 or a 1.2 KD and I end up in brackets with players that are 3 times the kind of player that I am. That's what I'm getting irritated by. They literally hear good game and that's what they think I was getting. I'm getting a good game and then I'm getting shellacked. I'm like, yeah, you take it. It's like, you're just admitting to me that you never get a 1.0 KD or higher, because if you did, you wouldn't defend skill-based matchmaking. You would feel what I feel. Can you link to the short? I mean, it's in the app. I'm not linking to that platform. People respond to and engage with the title, not the video. Yeah, I literally say in the video that I go from having a good game to a game where I get absolutely beat down. And they're like, that's totally fine, you're a hypocrite. And I'm like, you misunderstand. I didn't say that I beat down players and then I get beat down. That's not fair. I said I have a good game. A good game to me is I got to run around and get some kills. I got a 1.0 KD. And then I get thrashed by players out of my skill spectrum. I'm not thrashing anybody. YouTuber making gaming content, people think he must be an MLG pro. The one guy literally told me, he was like, skill-based matchmaking is for the casual dads that can't play all the time. I'm like, bro, that's literally me. That's literally me, man. If you're going to use the same terms as other people with a different definition, you have to define it. Anyone else says good game, and it means 30 kills and no deaths. I didn't know that was a good game. I would call that an amazing game. I would call that a pop-off game. That's a montage. That's a, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy to me that if that's what people think a good game is, I'm like, okay, so basically what you're saying is you never have any good games? For most of us, that's a decent game. Right, no, I said it. I was like, from here on out, if I publish a short video about skill-based matchmaking, I'll be sure to tell people I get a 1.0 to a 1.25 KD, and I get placed against players with 3 and 5 KDs. Skill-based matchmaking is overtuned. You need a middle ground. I don't want to beat up noobs, but I also don't want to sweat and get beat down every game. Why isn't there an in-between here? What are your shorts demographics? I have no idea. A good game to me is 24 to 14 or 35 to 22. Casual dad gamers don't have YouTube channels. I mean, I do. I'm a casual dad gamer in Call of Duty, right? I'm obviously not a casual dad gamer. Well, I actually kind of am. Like, I don't have time to play a lot of games. I just don't. All I'm saying is their presumption isn't unreasonable. Well, if you saw their messages, you would probably think differently. Their presumptions were unreasonable because they were being nasty, hateful people. So they don't get the benefit of the doubt. Most of them were just douchebags. It's, you know what I'm saying? Most of them were just clearly like angry douchebags that just, they think skill-based matchmaking is great and totally fine, and it's because they live at a 0.7. And it's like, well, yeah, you never, ever get hurt by it. You know? You are not a casual dad gamer? In certain games, I am. Come on. In Call of Duty, I'm a casual dad gamer. At least I feel like I'm a casual dad gamer. I don't feel like I play Call of Duty that particularly well. I'm headstrong. I'm aggressive. I die a lot. I get irritated. I'm not some high-level player. I don't even play that much. Don't sweat those people. Once Warzone drops, we'll never hear from them again. Casual dad gamers are bad at the game. Good is a subjective as a term, but relative to the situation. Anyone with the impression of a good game automatically meaning a 10 plus KD ratio is living in ignorance. What's wrong with living in 0.7 land? Good enough to have some kills, but bad enough to stay out of skill-based matchmaking. It's the perfect place to be. Right, but here's the thing, Bleep. Here's the thing. No shade, but you better pray that you never get better. You know what I'm saying? You better pray that you never get better. Because if in a month it's still this overtuned and you start getting better and you start learning the maps, it's going to happen to you too. You'll have a couple of games in a row. And you'll be like, oh no. Oh no. I just posted a 1.5. I just posted a 1.1. And then it'll happen. And you'll know why I got so irritated by it. You'll be like, oh, this sucks. I just want tier 1 modes and progression to not be crap and tactical modes. I'm tired of playing crap modes for unlocks. Buddha Papa with a $5 tip through Super Chat. He has always been a casual dad gamer. He was always the one sitting in orbit. Are we talking good game for a normal person or for a person who I'm watching on YouTube? If you compare me to other people that play Call of Duty, I don't put up good gameplay. I'm always a little self-conscious about streaming the game because I know I don't put up amazing gameplay. Who the frick wants to watch me play? And, you know, we actually tend to do pretty well with viewership. But I typically expect the Call of Duty fan base to watch me play for 20 minutes and be like, I ain't watching this guy. He sucks. They're going to want to go watch the guys that play better. Or at least watch the guys that they're known for it, and when they play poorly, they can make it funny, like Tim. When you got to watch your KD to avoid skill-based matchmaking screwing you, there's a problem. He has an amazing chair, so obviously he's a G Fuel snorter. I'll be honest, I don't tune into the stream for gameplay. There's no way people watch me for my gameplay. What's some of your favorite modern games? I'm talking 2015 and up. Hellblade, Ghost of Tsushima, Returnal, Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed Origins, Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Yeah. Control, I really liked Control. When you get a triple kill and that good feeling is replaced by dread, then there's a problem. Right, like I literally ended a game with Hilly and I said, I'm sorry, Hilly. I was like, I did well. I popped off. I had a really good game. And he was like, oh no, what'd you do? And I was like, I led the team. I resent that. I watch for gameplay. You can't have Shut Up Omar without it. I don't know. You cook them grenades very well, above average. Is the recon grenade different, Paul? I swear when I played Spec Ops, that grenade cooks faster. There's something different about it. Like I literally held it and threw it and like blew up like halfway on the trajectory. I was like, what? Why'd that blow? And the one time it killed me. Vengeance says, I have a 3.2 KD and kill confirmed and immediately thought, F, here comes the BS. Next game, joined mid-match and got crapped on. Yeah, that was the other thing. If you're going to try to tell me skill-based matchmaking isn't overtuned, then tell me, why do I have 2 decent games at a 1.0 KD and then I'm thrown into in-progress matches where I'm losing? Hilly and I literally got thrown into a game where we were down by 60 points. Why are you doing that? It's not my responsibility to backfill a game where a team was getting trounced on. It's like, well, you put up moderately good stats, so here you go. That's not on me. I didn't back out of that game. I didn't lose that game. Somebody else did. Don't throw me in there. Shut Up Omar is one of my favorite moments from the Sekiro playthrough. Win or lose doesn't matter, right? No, you're misrepresenting what I said earlier when I said I don't necessarily need to win as long as I'm able to have a good time. If you throw me into an in-progress game where we're down 60 points, that's not going to be fun. That's not going to be fun. We were getting farmed. The team that they threw us on was so bad, I ended up leading the team at the end and we still lost. That's not fun. Just because you're misrepresenting what I've said, and you've argued today in bad faith left and right. You've just been a douche most of the morning, Omega. When I say I don't need to win to have a good game, you can't say, well, win or lose doesn't matter, right? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I don't need to win to have a good time if I'm in a bracket that breathes. If I can move around and get some kills and not get farmed by super crazy good players that are just zipping around every corner, I can lose that match and still have a good time. That doesn't mean that I don't care about winning. Yeah, sure. Sure, bro. Throw me into an in-progress game with 4 points left. I don't care if I win or lose. That's not what I said. That's a misrepresentation of what I said. We went from player agency to pinned down after 2 games. Winning has no part here. Yeah, it's not about winning or losing. It's about the flow of the game changing on a dime like that. It's like we literally played kill confirmed and we only won by 2 points. We almost lost. I actually think the kill confirmed game that we really enjoyed, we were losing a lot of that game. We were. But we were having fun. Player agency is a huge aspect of what we're talking about here. Hilly and I did not win that kill confirm game because we were running around, crapping on people. I'm going to allow this comment because I want people to see what you say before this is your last day here. Think you're a douche with a mic. You suck, bro. You make a living off complaining. Okay, another false summary. Take your badge that's a long time badge and take a hike. You won't be missed. Your complaint seems to be you won 3 games, then you get battered the next. Sounds undertuned to me. If you won 3, you should lose 3 if it's balanced. No. I've never said I won 3 games. I said I had 3 games that were okay, they were good, they were fine. We literally said that the first 3 matches I played, I lost 2 of them. I lost 2 of them, but I had a 1.0. I had good stats. I've not once said I won 3. And by the way, if you're going to create a system that basically says, hey, you won 3 and now it's time for you to lose 3, with all due respect, that's one of the stupidest systems you could try to build. That's dumb. Like, that's stupid, man. Why would you build a system like that? I've yet to get an in-progress lobby queue after a game. I've gotten like 3 or 4. I got 2 when I was by myself, and then Hilly and I got at least 1 or 2. Bro, I've gotten 3 or 4 in progress. And each time it felt like it was after a game where I kind of did well. If you literally build a system that says, hey, this guy just won 3 games, let's set it up so now he loses 3 games. That's incredibly stupid. Because if you're the guy that lost 3, you probably want to win 1 or 2. It blows my mind that so much of the time when skill-based matchmaking comes up, I get told it's a skill issue. Really? Tell that to the person who wants to win. It's a skill issue, bro. You want to win, play better. Imagine being on a sports team and you guys start out the season and you win your first 3 games. You're like, this is great. We won our first 3 games. And the league officiation comes in and says, what we're going to do now is we're going to bump you from junior varsity to varsity. You're going to have to play against tougher teams now because clearly you're playing well. We don't want you to win anymore right now. You need to lose some games. So we're going to intentionally stack you against teams that have like a 90% chance of beating you. So now you can lose, and then your record goes 3-3. And you're like, what? And they're like, oh, now that you lost 3 games, we're going to bring you back down here to junior varsity and put you against teams that you have a high probability of winning. That is not in the spirit of competition in any realm that I've ever been in. You know what you're describing when you win and then have to play a tougher team that also just won? Do you know what that is? That's a tournament. That's not public matchmaking. It's a dadgum tournament. You want everything to feel like a tournament? Oh, you lost. Go to the loser's bracket. It'll be easier now. Oh, you won. Go to the winner's bracket. It's going to be harder now. That's a tournament. Sports in England are different. We have promotion and relegation, just like skill-based matchmaking. You play at your level. Yes, and you know what's cool about that? The teams that go into that game style and that ranking style, they sign up for that. I didn't sign up for that. Yeah, and it's not after 2 games. I didn't sign up for that. Like, I didn't sign up for passive tournament play. What the frick? I bought Call of Duty and I clicked on something that says quick play. What? Why am I being treated in this way? How do you say in the same lobby? They stopped lobby breaking? Read my tweet from the other day. I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Akuta Papa. Isn't skill-based matchmaking going to make those massive pendulum swings in the beginning at first? It's an algo. It needs more data points to get you placed in the right funnel. That's an awful generous thought process, Abe. You're being really generous. It's going to be really rough in the beginning, but it'll get better as time goes on. Wouldn't it be really less noticeable if that were the case? If it needed more data points to get you in the right funnel, wouldn't it take a long time before it started firing because it needs more data points? You're defending a system that seemingly is happy to give me whiplash with virtually no data points at all. So why would I trust it to get better with time? It seems like an ad hoc piece of garbage. It doesn't seem like a well-built system. I was thinking about this earlier. It feels like the algo is lacking the proper integral and derivative components to get you to the right matches. I'm just thinking about it like a machine. Abe, if that were to happen, I would be perfectly fine with saying, okay, first weekend's going to be a bunch of whiplash. But bro, my experience with SBMM is it's always like this. It's always reactionary. It happened to me in Fortnite, and I had a ton of games. It happened to me in Fortnite with my nephews, and they played all the time. All it took was a couple of good games, and we got yanked into lobbies where we couldn't do anything. It was immediate. And they had all this data on their accounts, and it just didn't matter. You can edit loadouts in games, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. You can edit loadouts in games. I don't. The quickly getting thrown back into matches about, after you're trying to see all your stuff. It can get a little frustrating. I want to just back out and look at my stuff. Are they terrified of Smurf accounts? I don't know, Zubair. I don't know. My first 10 to 15 games were similar to your experience, but after it happened less, because I only assumed the game figured out my skill level was placed me in that tier. We need to answer the question which they don't say public. How many games does SBMM take into consideration? What's the data point weight? Right. Here's my issue, Abe. My experience with SBMM is that if you take a break from the game, they put you into a bad lobby and you go nuts, and then they throw you into the deep end of the pool. So it's almost like you have to play your first 2 games and be like, well, I'm just going to take it easy. Skill-based matchmaking is antisocial, says Hilly. You play with your buds, and the skill gap between them is the factor of pain the weaker players will experience. What's good about that? Another great point. Let's take what you're saying, Abe, and let's say it's true. And let's say there's a lot of players here that are a lot better than me. Eugene is better than me. Distorted's better than me. These guys play a whole lot more often than me. And let's say SBMM levels out. I will never want to play with them because I know where I'm going to get taken. It happened in Apex Legends. I played with a couple of people who played regularly, and it was awful. There were people, they were well out of my league. It's like, I've not played Apex in a year. And I got thrown into the deep end of the pool. I guess I just won't play with anybody. I guess I won't play with anybody that's better than me. Let me check your stats. In the past, you'd get excited when your buddy got on because he was a really good player. Now your buddy gets on, he's a really good player, and you're like, he's going to want to play. I don't want to play with him. I get thrown in the lobbies where I can't do anything. Or people play solo, and getting screwed by group up mixed players is no fun. Well, Frostbite, that's a different topic altogether. Stacks against stacks, I'm in agreement with that. If you're in a team of 6, you shouldn't go up against solo queue players. I am 100% in agreement with that. That makes perfectly good sense. When I'm solo queuing, I don't want to go up against a 6 stack. And when I'm 6 stacking, I don't want to go up against a bunch of solo players. It's not fun. It'll make you better. No, it won't. No, it won't. Here's the problem with claiming it'll make you better. Okay? Let's say that you show promise as a chess player. And you beat a couple of people. And then they throw you against a chess master and tell you, it'll make you better. When the gap between you and the person beating you is so big, there's no room for improvement because you lose way too fast. A chess master beating you in 3 moves teaches you nothing. Is that how they teach people in sports? Is that how they teach people in chess? Is that what they do? Well, you're going to get a lot better at chess if we just put you against a chess master every day. No, that doesn't work. Anybody that knows about coaching and improvement doesn't do that. You get somebody incrementally up to that point. It teaches you a master's potential. You guys, with respect, you know nothing about how people improve. If the gap's too big, you don't learn anything. This is why you have age brackets. You have brackets of skill, you have brackets of teams. You don't take teams and say, hey, you guys show promise. We're going to put you up against a team that's way better than you. You're going to learn. And then they don't get to do anything. I never got better at Rocket League when I played with people who never let me touch the ball. They were just aerialing and flying, and I'm like, that's pretty awesome that they get to do that. I'm just down here watching. I'm not learning any skills. If the chasm between you is so great, you lose so fast, there is no lesson. Proper growth happens when challenge is just beyond competency. That's the flow state. Right. You can't learn when somebody's so far outside of your reach. That just simply isn't true. You want to know what's funny about this? I love that that's the argument some of you are making. Do you know what you just argued against? You just argued against skill-based matchmaking. The fastest way for all these potato players to learn is to play against me. Let me trounce them. Let me pound them into the ground. They'll get better, won't they? Isn't that how they learn? Isn't that how they improve? You just argued against skill-based matchmaking. Because all these noobs, all these really bad players, all these inexperienced players, homie, they'll get way better if they get demolished. If they get stomped into the ground and they lose 10 games in a row, that's a fast track to getting better, isn't it? No, it's not. Skill-based matchmaking exists literally because you don't learn anything when you die instantly. Came around the corner. Oh, dead. Came around the corner. Oh, dead. Oh, that guy's fast. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I got sniped. Aren't you getting better? Aren't you improving at the game? No, you're not. The chasm between those players is so great. Let me tell you something. If all it took was playing against really good players to get better, then you know what these pro teams could do? Do you know what they could do? They could scout the worst players in the world and just put them up against their pro teams. Yeah, this is how you get people to be better. We have an endless supply of good players. All you have to do is take really bad players and make them play against pros, and they'll just get better. It's a magic trick that we've seemingly just totally not been tuned in all this time. No, that's not it at all. You have to be able to play and move around. You have to be able to adapt, and you can't do that if you're getting stomped into dust. You simply can't. So if you believe, this is why the skill-based matchmaking argument always breaks down. Because if you believe I should just get better and I'll improve by playing against players that are so much better than me that I get stomped and don't have a good time, and you just tell me to get good, well then I say the same thing to all of the noobs that skill-based matchmaking is protecting. Well, why can't they just play against people that are better than them? Why don't they just get better in that environment? We don't need skill-based matchmaking, because apparently if you play against people that are way better than you, you just have to, quote, get good, and it's a skill problem. People don't understand that they invalidate their own defense of skill-based matchmaking when they tell me I just need to get good and adapt. Well, then that's true of the entire player base, which means we don't need skill-based matchmaking because you can just adapt and get good. Anybody defending skill-based matchmaking by telling me I just need to get good and adapt, tell that to the entire player base and then just turn skill-based matchmaking off. We just need really stupid, empty platitudes about getting good and it being a skill issue. That's all we need. Those empty platitudes, tell that to all the really bad players who need skill-based matchmaking to protect them, because apparently it doesn't need to protect them. They just need to get good. It's an empty response. It's an empty response. It doesn't solve anything. Skill-based matchmaking is not supposed to put you against people that's that much better than you. Yeah, and that's why the systems don't work. Like, I think that's a fundamental misunderstanding. People don't understand why it doesn't work. There's a reason that it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it overreacts and you end up in places that you have no business being. If I always had to play people at 1.0 KDs, bro, I would be having a great time. I'll be having a great time. All right, we got to switch. I don't like these streams going longer than 3 hours, and we have to get over into Spec Ops, and we're going to be testing it out today. I'm going to open up the next video with my thoughts on Spec Ops. There's a link in chat. If you don't want to ride redirect, please click the link in chat to go to the next stream. Please go to the next stream and smash the like button like crazy. We always struggle with likes in the second streams, and we really want to dedicate a lot of time to Spec Ops because we think it'll be great prep for the raids. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. We're going to be diving into Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops daily challenges, analyzing the stars, the star system, trying to get our tiers up and ready to go for the Modern Warfare 2 raids when they launch. I'm going to give my brief thoughts at the beginning of the video about Spec Ops just not working all that well and not really being explained. There's bugs, there's problems, and then we're going to dive in and actually try the challenges themselves. I'm going to end the previous stream where I gave my review of multiplayer. Review of multiplayer is that it's a bit of a mess. I really enjoyed the game when it launched. The campaign was really enjoyable. I had a lot of fun with it, and then I really